to the end of our briefing.
Madam, excuse me. I've just woken up from the bedroom to come here.
We will
My name is
beg
Ezra
to
Ngurube.
move.
I'm the secretary to the Council of President in the UPND Alliance.
Can I check
just
with
bring a
you,
suggestion
sir?
to the UCZ. The issue of questions now is over. Any political party that has got questions, let them write to you, the commissioner. Your time and your dedication right now, let it be to you announce the elections, not people coming here trying to alarm the situation. We don't want that. You, ECZ, right now, can you focus on the announcing of the elections, not this what we are hearing here.
I think
it is not fair. Look, these are confused people. They're trying to confuse the nation.
Okay,
we cannot allow that.
Can we end here?
Can you focus on the announcing of the elections? And let everybody do the same. Not what is happening here. It's not fair. Pakasalo Amdala, the Zambia is depending on you and this body, and this is the only body. They have got that kind of illusion in their mind to say they have won these elections. You are the only body to announce.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
Yes, madam.
May I request, we have closed this session.
I appreciate that. That's why I rushed you. I'm in the pajamas.
The feedback has been received and we'll beg to move for now. Thank you.
Right now, I'm in the pajamas. This nonsense should not continue. Zambia is big. Zambia is big. No, we can't accept it. Want to shake it? Let ECZ announce the election.
A conversation with
By ECZ, what can announcement? ECL produced and released the police and the military into the streets to maintain law and order. Today, they want to see it as if it's something alien that has happened for the very first time. That's not the case. That's not the case. This is what is mandated by them by the law. When you read the Defense Act, Chapter 106, what does it say? The media have got a responsibility to protect this country from threats within and threats outside. So when we see the media on the street there, they're not there to threaten anybody. If anything, they are paid by us with the people of Zambia. So we should be happy that they are there to protect us. So somebody asks stupid questions in there to say, no, our people have been abducted. Which people? The police are here. Ask them, whom have they abducted? Whom have they abducted? There's nobody. So let them not try to create this impression and illusion that this country is on fire. Zambia is not on fire. I've been calling people from across the country. The country is peaceful. The only thing that we need to do right now, let us give the Electoral Commission of Zambia chance to announce elections. If there is Party A, Party B, which has got any issue, let them be able to write to ECZ to say we have got these concerns so that ECZ can respond to them in written. This time that we are wasting here, let ECZ use that time to announce the elections.
You're not worried that you might be slapped with a Bishop of Peace with how you...
Which Bishop of Peace?
Right now.
Which Bishop of Peace have I conducted there? I stood there at the podium requesting for me to be addressed. I'm just waking up. So when you talk of Bishop of Peace, I have no problem with that. But I was peaceful there. I'm accredited to be here. And I'm accredited to raise a question. Whatever question that I'm supposed to raise. And we cannot allow evil voices to prevail. The reason why politics is called a dirty game, because you, the journalists, and other stakeholders that are watching, you good men, you have been quiet out there. That's not supposed to be the case. Let's call a spade a spade. And when people are raising those foolish questions, to a point whereby they start exchanging, oh, but come on, guys. Zambia is a very peaceful country. The whole world is looking up to Zambia because of the way we're trying to express ourselves as a democratic country. Peaceful elections. Then people, in their mind, a polling station was closed at 18 hours. 22 hours, they declare themselves winners in the Copper Belt and Lusaka, which is all lies. The only institution that has got power mandated by you and I, it is only the ECZ to announce the elections. So if you don't finish it, never win. Now, Mr.
Ngulu, aren't you worried that the president whom is supporting, President Hakainde Hichilema, would be disappointed with your conduct right now?
Which conduct have I displayed here? I came, I posed the question.
Call upon the Electoral Commission of Zambia to immediately suspend the application of disputed. This is not allowed. Officer, come. You're down.
He's a stupid idiot. Who has allowed him to do that? They don't take in charge of beach. Put him in the handcuffs. Just put him in the cells. Arrest him. Beat your chap. Arrest him. You are a diplomat, you. You are a diplomat. Beat him. You think you are here to play? Put him in the
Mrs. Mutotwe Kafwaya. I last saw my husband on Friday as he left home early morning. I spoke to him, I think, midday. I can't really remember the conversation. That was the last time I saw him. Around 17 hours, I started calling his phone. The phone went unanswered. Up to now, the phone is still going unanswered, but it rings. So yesterday, the state made a statement to say there was a raiding at Mr. Munduwile's residence, and the friends were apprehended, and they are in state custody. And my husband's name is not there, but Mr. Brian Munduwile has confirmed that my husband was amongst the friends, and he witnessed him being shot twice. This is very disturbing to me and the children. I think that the time he stopped answering his phone, I think that's the time That's the time he was shot. From Friday around 17, 18 hours, I haven't heard from my husband up to now. So now, as the state confirmed that they apprehended his friends and he's not amongst the list, me as a wife, I'm appealing to the state to look into our plight because we are in a dilemma. We don't know where he is. We reported the case to the police and they are saying they haven't found him. But since the government yesterday confirmed that the friends were apprehended and their families are now free to go and visit their friends, and my husband's name is not there. So I don't know where to go. That's why I'm appealing to the state to come in because the children are affected. I am affected. Family members are affected. The friends are affected. We don't know what to do. We don't know where to start from. We don't know where to hold we don't know whether to hold a funeral or not because we can't hold a funeral without accessing him. We need to access him. It's just abnormal to stay from Friday night up to now. We don't know where our family member is. I don't know where my husband is. The children, they don't know where the father is. The youngest keeps on asking me, where is dad? What time is he coming? When you check his phone, he calls his father more than 10 times in a day. And when he hears me crying, he'll tell me, Mom, it's okay, Dad will come. Let me go and pray in my room. Imagine how that feels. I've got children who are in school. He is also in school. All of them, they're in school. They are missing out right now. How are the children going to concentrate? They are supposed to write exams, they are supposed to pass, they are supposed to progress. Their father is not here. We keep on waiting. So me, as an ordinary person, I want assistance. I want to know where my husband is, whether dead or alive, because I won't keep on like this. People are coming, people are calling. We can't hold a funeral without accessing him. Please, as a government, I'm appealing to you. As a state, I'm appealing to you. As a wife, you are affecting my health. You are affecting my health. I'll also die at the end because this is not easy. This is not normal. Please help us as a government. Help us because you already confirmed that there was a raiding by military personnel at Mr. Mundubire's house. And Mr. Mundubire confirmed my husband being amongst those people. So, please, I don't know how safe my husband is. It's very cold. The state is responsible over my husband because you confirmed that you raided that house. And my husband was shot at in that very house. I think I end there. Thank you very much.
$2,477. Hichilema Hakainde S, UPND, 22,565. 22565. Registered voters in Chirundu constituency, 40,464. 40,464. Valid votes cast, 25,297. 25,297. Rejected votes, 502. 502. Total votes cast, 25,000. 799 to 5,799. Percentage turnout 63.76%. 63.76%. Chairperson.
Thank you, General. The Commissioner Mteti will read the rest of Lufwanyama East with the statistics on the voters.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to read the statistics after they have been reconciled. For Copperbelt Province, Lufwanyama District, Lufwanyama East constituency. Registered voters, 24,346. 24,346. Valid votes cast, 21,837. 21,837. Rejected votes, 410. 410. Total votes cast, 22,247. 22,247. Percentage turnout, 91.38% for Lufwanyama East constituency. Aggregate. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Chipenzi, may you complete your batch? Thank you.
Thank you, Chairpersons. I take you to Central Province, District Kabwe, Constituency Kabwe Central. Pule Daniel C, CDP 3. Siamnene Ritual, NFP 4. Njovu Akim A, DU 5. Sirume Richard, LM 6. Kunda Howard, Zawapa 8. Katuta Given, Independent 10, 10. Chancer Given M, MEE 15, 15. Mushimba Brian, OPP 25, 25. Waria Kelvin F, ZMP 51, 51. Freddy, Member Fred, SP 63, 63. Karavahari CF 111, 111. Munduvile Brian M, NRPUP 12,114, 12,114. Hichirema Hagainde S, UPND 17,830, 17,830. Total registered voters for Kabwe Central, 53,902, 53,902. Valid votes cast, 30,245, 30,245. Rejected votes, 482, 482. Total votes cast, 30,727, 30,727. Percentage turnout, 57.01%, 57.01%. Those are the results for Kabwe Central. Take you to Shangombo, Western Province, Shangombo District, Constituency, Shangombo South. Mushimba Brian, OPP 1. Fred Membe, SP 3. Pule Daniel C, CDP 4. Kunda Howard, Zawapa 7. Chansa given M, MEE 9. Njov Akim A, DU 10, 1-0. Katuta given Independent 12, 1-2. Surumbe Richard LM 26, 2-6. Kalabahari CF 32, 3-2. Siamnene Ritual NFP 116, 1-1-6. Mundubire Brian M NRPUP 425, 425. Bwaria Kelvin F ZMP 456, 456. Hichilema Hagaindes S UPND 15,685, 15,685. Total registered voters for Shangombo South is 21,861, 21,861. Total votes cast 16,786, 16,786. Rejected votes 750, 750. Total votes cast 17,536, 17,536. Percentage turnout 80.22%, 80.22%. We move to Northern Province, District Mungwi, Constituency Malole. Daniel Pule C, CDP 2. Njovu Akim A, DU 10, 1-0. Sirumbe Richard, LM 12. Siamnene Ritual, NFP 12, 1-2. Kunda Howard, Zawapa 36, 3-6. Chansa given M, MEE 43, 4-3. Mushimba Brian, OPP 52, 5-2. Karabahari CF 102, 102. Waria Kelvin F ZMP 146, 146. Membe Fred SP 155, 155. Katuta given Independent 472, 472. Hichilema Hagainde 8S UPND 3,994, 3,994. Munduvile Brian M NRPUP 20,431, 20,431. Registered voters, total registered voters for Malole constituency 54,358, 54,358. Valid votes cast 25,467, 25,467. Rejected votes 1,210, 1,210. Total votes cast 26,677, 26,677. Percentage turnout 49.08%, 49.08%. Those are the results for Malole constituency. Last but not the least, we go to Wapula province, district Samfya, constituency Bangweulu. Kunda Howard, Zawapa, 2929. Siamnene Ritual, NFP 3030. Pure Daniel C, CDP 4141. Katuta Given, Independent 4141. Jovu Akim A, DU 4141. Sirumbe Richard, LOM 5454. Chancer Given M, MEE 8484. Mushimba Brian, OPP 9393. Member Fred, SP 116 116. Bwaria Kelvin F, ZMP 178 178. Kalabahari CF 340 340. Hichilema Hagainde S, UPND 9023 9,023. Mundubile Brian M, NRPUP 26,493 26,493. Total registered voters for Bangwe Uru constituency is 71,364, 71,364. Valid votes cast is 36,563, 36,563. Rejected votes 1,736, 1,736. Total votes cast 38,299, 38,299. Percentage turnout 53.67%, 53.67%. Chairperson, I submit.
Thank you, Commissioner Chipenzi. Commissioner Sinkala.
Thank you so much, Chairperson, and indeed with pleasure. Chair, I will start with Shangombo, Western Province, Shangombo North constituency. Pule Daniel C, CDP 1. Mushimba Brian, OPP 3. Kunda Howard, Zawapa 4. Silumbe Richard, LM 4. Njovu Akim A, DU 6. Member Fred, SP 8. Siamnene Ritual, NFP 9. Chancer Given M, MEE 11 1 1. Katuta Given, Independent 17 1 7. Kalabahari CF 20 2 0. Walia Kelvin F, ZMP 49 4 9. Mundubile Brian M, NRPUP 242 242. Echilema Kainde, UPND 10,129 10,129. Registered voters 17,488 17488. Valid votes cast 10,000 503, 10,503. Rejected votes, 378, 378. Total votes cast, 10,881, 10,881. Percentage turnout, 62.22%, 62.22%. I move to Northern Province, District, Luingu, Constituency, Lubansenshi. Pule Daniel C, CDP 0. Njovu Akim A, DU 4. Siamnene Ritual, NFP 5. Kunda Howard, Zawapa 7. Katuta Given, Independent 8. Silumbe Richard, LM 9. Kalaba Hari, CF 15, 1, 5. Mushimba Brian, OPP 18, 1, 8. Member Fred, SP 22, 2, 2. Walia Kelvin F, ZMP 28, 2, 8. Chansa Given M, MEE 29, 2, 9. Ichilema Akainde, UPND 3,079, 3,079. Mundubire Brian M, 16, 7,516. Registered voters 17,616. 17.
Hello, good day, and welcome to today's broadcast. We'll leave the live results that are being announced by ECZ. You know, we haven't paid much attention to them because, well, the result management process has been extremely poor. We had UPND thug storm polling stations and totaling centers. We've had soldiers storm totaling centers. We've had results change with wanton, with many witnesses present. We've had monitors, party agents, and observers removed from the process. That's not a result, that's not credible. We are having sight of it only to know at what stage they are in their pre-planned process to declare President Hakainde Hichilema as winner. There's a massive fraud going on. So we'll be having sight of it only for the sake of it. We'll not give it much credibility. So share this broadcast. Let's go to the gist of it. My results now, what it is that they've done, and it's even just useless even to discuss them because I've got so many districts that they've changed results. You even have wanton ones where they are taking away, like Chingola. They take away 10,000 votes. 10,000 votes. I want to 10,000 on the results. What kind of theft is that? So come on, share the broadcast. Let's discuss. Ayama results Vashile. Those that wish to watch the results can continue. But let's discuss. Number one, what is the opposition's responsibility on this matter? Where is KBF? Where is Harry Kalaba? Where is Fred Membe? Where are their voices in this matter with all the happenings that are even being reported by international media? Where are the voices? When do you show leadership? Then you keep quiet. Let's discuss that particular matter. Let's discuss the issues regarding the election. So share, we discuss.
Everything has been straightforward. Everything has been straightforward.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Hello?
Yes. Would you wish to contribute?
Let us discredit these results. And the only way we can do this is by showing those Gen 20s here for a week or two after they've done whatever they have. So that
I've published the Gen 20s for Southern Province. I am targeting province. I'm targeting districts where they want only change the results will give you. But again, we have to be very careful that we are not arming them with pre-information in the event that this matter goes to court.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Be able to open the phone lines. Share the broadcast. Let's send to tubungane pano tulandepo. Iseni tubungane tulandepo. There's a very, very strong attempt to criminalize Brian Mundubile and the organization. That's why they're introducing false narrative of militias. We don't have militias in Zambia. We have cadres. They had high-grade weapon. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, caller.
Hello, good evening, Mwabombe Nwamamba.
Mkwai.
Natindande pona inipaya ya results ya valet pera va ECZ. Ushakwene fifira istika muzambia. Fyari istika pokwene tuafimona. If you are but the evidence is so overwhelming such that Konsefe Romba Pyoko by Shirena that is stop announcing our results. Umumuma constituencies. For example, in Kabwe, I'm very disappointed. Parabak is Ostabadi Rosta. But today they've declared a winner. Is no better to like Karamcha. Oh, please, I want to raise some leaders vessel. Let's protest these results. This is not a free and fair election. I submit.
Thank you very much. You know, the results, for example, from Solwezi, you know, the MP got 12,000, Bruce Kanema came out 11,000, but President Hakainde Hichilema got 54,000. Come on. So you wonder. But anyway, those results, like we've seen, by virtue that there was an invasion in the totaling center, those results are not credible and they must be dismissed. Our folk are taking us serious. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
I am Gift Mike Puri. I'm calling from Aspata.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to just give a message on what is happening.
Thank you.
The ECZ Mwandi, the ECZ is not introducing the results which Zambians were expecting. And we are calling upon you, Ambassador, if you can even invite the international society so that maybe we can watch and see what is happening to the country Zambia. We are right now in tears. This is not what we were expecting, whereby numbers are being manipulated. It's unfair, one. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
This is Muvita from Kafewe.
Make your contribution.
Ambassador, Ambassador, I've seen elections and election, but this election is a sham.
That's the correct word. The elections are a
sham. Yes, Ambassador. Even this voter turnout is a sham. That day of elections, I voted. I was on my way. I left. I was on my way going to job. Ambassador, the turnout starting from Kafiwe was very low on all polling stations I found along the way. But to hear that today the turnout was around the 78, it's a mockery.
Fiabufi. Thank you, my brother. Anything else?
It's a mockery.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Ambassador, I would urge we take this matter to the courts. Whether we shall get justice there or not, at least we would have done our part. Thank you, Ambassador.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Good evening, this is Simon from Lusaka.
Make your contribution.
Yeah, Ambassador, I don't know how best we can describe this criminality that is going on. The results are totally unacceptable. You know, the current president was just supposed to set that is lost. You can never force the will of the people on yourself. We have decided, Pilot, that we want change and we want things to move differently. We do not appreciate the way things are coming out now. It's you people that are known, that are in front, please help us regain our democracy. We do not know how best we can go about it, but we need to go about it peacefully. And we appeal to you, the people that are at least privileged, to help us fight that.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much. Let me take this call. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Mr. Mwamba, I'll remain anonymous. I'm calling from Lusaka, quite all right?
Anonymous,
But
make
then
your contribution.
Thank you. Just wanted to add my frustrations, and I would rather to describe this person. Another Idi Amin has come to Zambia. Yes, we just leave everything in the hands of our Lord, because it's something unheard of. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Hello, Mr. Mwamba. I'm calling from Lusaka. I'll remain anonymous.
Thank you, Anonymous.
I think for me, even the bigger concern, apart from the results obviously being questionable, is that now we've got a broken system, a broken process. So how do we even look forward to the next election? And more especially that you expect the people who have broken the process to be in power. Obviously, they have zero motivation to fix the system. So that is even now a bigger problem that we have at hand. Thank you, Angwam.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's hear from you. Let's hear from you. Before I give my editorial opinion, hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution. Thank you. Make your contribution.
Mamba fishi the solution of things Japan drop already na fishi kwa kwa awawantu amaelection n'abapango fundungu n'abeba andikala konkapo isamfofe bakitafe announce kwebati umuntu nawe omba nshishire ifofe ekala cyano sotinga kitanga kutwa kitenshi mama already na fishi kwa kwebati nawe naromba cyabulanda ndemufira fyo bulanda untungu shesho tukwetwa plan munzi bantunga bawasa twashbawa tsafe announce atwawi bala bashinguru kenanga wa president wa plan munzi sinangu turelanda turechitashani ishivenga kwayo makoti na kokumakoti na inanga muno mwino kwebati kuyatwala yene muleti tani 20 kuyatwala court side eba sondama judges walimona na majudges bantoa kwa tamtaro de bawa sekwati bawa kusaji ya government so ishivenga kwena sinteho kyara bombe na paridi ya shapana alikoto ofisana atekera mama.
Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contributions.
Mr. Mamba, this is KC calling you from Kasama.
Yes.
Mr. Mamba, I just want to express my sadness over the way the results have been conducted. You know, it's clear for any normal person, even for a person that is not learned like me, to see that these results have been manipulated. And what's puzzling me, in as much as we are saying, in as much as our president is saying that we should be very peaceful, you know, it takes a lot of courage. Remember what we passed through for us to get our independence. We don't need to be cowards to just start staying home and watch a few people rule over us in such a manner. Look at the wife and the son to Mutotu Kafwaya. At what desperation is Hakainde Hichilema going to get power to rule this country over our blood, spilling our blood like that? This is not right. Let us not be cowards. Let's stand. We can even peacefully protest without throwing stones or anything. We start walking to State House to protest this. This is not right. It doesn't take somebody to go to school for you to learn that these elections have been manipulated. This is not right. Gambians, let's stand up for what is right. It's very sad indeed. Just a few people. Look at this Mwebantu. So these people started a long time ago to lead these elections. Look at the Zambia Army Commander. What tribe is he? Look at the electoral commissioner, the woman there. She's doing all this because she wants to protect her daughter. That daughter has got a case and she's out of the country. Just imagine where would have been. That case would have not even been bailable. It wouldn't have even been manslaughter. Now, just a few people, a few handful of people, you mean they are so powerful that students, you know, this is not right. Now I even concur. I felt bad when Bigman Mpundu said, I'm ready to die and I can kill. This is what he meant. The people like that who are behaving like that, this is not right. It's not that you would want to kill somebody who is innocent, but somebody who is attacking you in your home now, and able to start attacking you mean because you want to remain peaceful. People, let's rise. This is not right. That's for a few number of people to manipulate the army just because they listen to commands. Army commander, not positions are quite army. You listen to that person just because they want to protect their tribe. No, this is not right. Look at how the Northerners and Easterners have voted. They love this country. They've showed him that we still love him even as a human being. We've given him vote. Look at the way they are voting. And you think now a person who's listening to his command, one commander, the way they are loyal to people, you press Mama Zero, you think you listen to anything. Even if Akainde says, kill all these people, he would do that. Because they are loyalists. They don't want to see reality. Let's rise, Mwevanti. This is not right. That's what I have to say. Let's not be cowards.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Caller.
Hello.
Yes, please make your contribution.
Yes, you are speaking with Moses, and I'm calling from within Lusaka, Wamwamba.
Yes, Moses, make your contribution.
Yes, Wamwamba. I think at the end of the day, we all need to be truthful to ourselves. And the truth is, I would really love you not to cut me, because these are the guys that have been speaking. In 2021, you guys lost the election. The question is, what has changed from 2021 to 2026?
Oh, we lost him. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
My name is Anonymous. I'm from Lusaka.
Yes, Anonymous, make your contribution.
I have a question first before I make my contribution.
Yes.
As we saw on the voting day, we saw videos on social media that were saying there was a low voter turnout in the southern part of Zambia.
Yes,
but then
there
now
was.
we are seeing figures like 22, 40,000.
No, those are fake results, my brother. You don't even have to analyze. They are fake results.
Yes, because
Yeah.
no, this is not making sense.
Yeah.
This is not making sense at all. And we, the people, decide through the ballot. And I think the message is clear. We want change. And if there's a margin of people listening to me through your channel, let's unite and go for a common goal. We need to fight for our country. We cannot afford to give another 5 years to these people. Razati Siriza, they are going to ruin this country. So, Ambassador, I appeal to you and everybody else listening to me. We only have one Zambia. There will never be a duplicate. We need to fight for our country. I submit. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Good evening, Ambassador. This is LB from DRC.
Yes, my brother. Make your contribution.
Thank you so much, sir. Ambassador, we all know that the results mainly coming from Southern Province, and these two provinces are fake.
Yes, correct.
So where are we standing now? What is the conclusion now? Because I expected something to be done today. What are you saying, you, our leaders? That's my question, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We are receiving calls. Before I make my comments, let's hear from you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Ramwamba, this is Anonymous.
Anonymous, make your contribution.
Thank you. So it's really sad that we have reached this stage as a country after having so many gains from independence. It's clear that this election has been stolen, and they were not only stealing from the strongholds where you find these crazy numbers. It's as if someone was just writing the numbers on those forms. But even from the the strongholds for Munduvile. We have seen from the those Gen 20 forms where people were still, instead of 89, they would put 200, 300 votes, and a combination of that has given them so many numbers as well. So I think for me, what I can say is three things. The first one is that we expect that the team will still lodge in a petition. Not that we expect results from there, but just to put it on record and put in that evidence that this election was stolen. Then, secondly, we also don't expect so much from the international community or these observers. But what I can say is the Zambian people should rise not in arms or not being violent, but just to show our displeasure. Because if we don't act like that, then it will be a challenge. You know, they have used the police, they have used the military, and people naturally are scared seeing these people in uniform, and people are in their homes. But it's not that they are happy or they are satisfied with what has happened. They are sad, but it would be good to show that people are not happy. So I think for me, a protest would be good. On the Copper Belt, they tried. That's why there hasn't been so much stealing from the Copper Belt. But Central Province, Kawe.
They've stolen, my brother. I was looking at the results in Chingola, where they've removed up to 10,000 votes from Brian Munduvile's lead.
Yeah, so that's unfortunate, but it's on the Copper Belt, it's not as bad as it has happened in Kawe and Lusaka. And Lusaka, this was the winning ground for Munduvile, because someone was telling me, is it Kabwata? Munduvile was winning by more than 50,000 votes. But you know, they were causing deliberately confusion. And when people try to rise, then they'll bring the military and people run away. And so this is how the election has been stolen, unfortunately. And I don't know if we'll ever have elections again under this administration where the elections are fair and free, because they have perfected this art of stealing. And for me, it also shows that even when you guys were in power, when PF was in power, they were doing this. It's just that people didn't know that this is what they were doing, cooking the numbers. So it's really, really sad that we have reached this stage. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Mr. Mwamba, good evening.
Good evening.
May
Hello, my brother. Hello, my brother. Hello, my brother. Hello, my brother. Just a minute, just a minute. There are about 3 callers waiting. Hello, my brother. Please make your contribution.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, just to contribute actually, and agree with everybody else who's believing that the election actually has been stolen. Actually, I think stealing is a lighter word to use in this context. To me, this government or United Party for National Development, UPND, and their leader, they have staged a coup d'etat, okay, on Munduvile and the Zambian people. They have overthrown the legitimately elected leader in the name of Brian Munduvile. Rigging, to me, rigging is where, it's done secretly. But these people were doing it openly and everybody could see. Where on earth would you allow military people, the Zambia Armed Forces, to stop a totaling center and throw out
the officials of a political party who are trying to negotiate with Electoral Commission of Zambia officials to try and reach a consensus or agree on the numbers. Where on earth? And they are even saying that no, even during the time of Edgar Lungu, even Edgar Lungu sent military personnel during elections. Yes, he did, but he did not send them to totaling centers. He sent them to the streets to keep peace, not to the totaling centers. I didn't say it. We are all old enough actually to remember what transpired that time. So,
and they didn't grab ballot boxes. They didn't grab Gen 20s.
No ways. No, none of that happened. But these, I think as people say, these guys are a criminal gang, a mafia, type of people, mafia leadership. Everything is, it's like we're having a nightmare. It's like we are going to wake up one day and say, oh, it was just a nightmare. That's what we're feeling, all of us. So I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, but me, I was of a view that maybe we don't even go to court. But maybe, as the brother said, that just maybe to put it on record, actually, because we know we don't have the functional judiciary in Zambia. It doesn't exist. We don't have. We have a chief justice who's a cadre. You have judges who all are cadres. So we can't expect justice. There's no fairness in this country. Everything is gone. That's what some people say that the judiciary or the justice system has gone to the dogs. That's what we're experiencing today in Zambia. I do not know if you are going to have any other. I thought this actually would be the last chance we are going to have to change the government, because the next time there will be elections. Do not expect a real competitor to compete with the UPND. No, they will crash down every political party, every person, who would like to, somebody with a dissenting view. So they will create their own competitor now, a splinter UPND, which they will be contesting with, just to show the world that there is democracy in Zambia. This was our last opportunity that we had to change the government. But God is there anyway. We believe God. People have been praying. People, in 1991, because of the fear of KK, people prayed that time. I remember that time, I was not yet a Christian, but this year, we have prayed and prayed and we prayed more than 2, 3, 4 times more than the 1991. In the year 1991. So, it could be that God is saying, Pharaoh, let my people go. And then he shows him a sign, Pharaoh refuses. Second time, let my people go. Pharaoh refuses. Third, fourth, until God actually shows him the last biggest sign. I think that's where we are heading to. Very soon we believe that God is going to intervene. God does not slumber. So that's what I can say for now. What they have done is actually to actually, cause unnecessary stress on the Zambian people. Many of Zambians rejected this leadership that has taken away all our freedoms and liberties. We wanted to have them restored. We wanted to be free to criticize our elected leaders. They should be answerable to us. They should be accountable to us. But President HH is accountable to himself only. Him only, that's the resolve. We can't allow this. We cannot allow this. This should not be happening in this country. Not at all. Where did he come from, this man? What really happened? What has gone wrong in this country? Oh, God help us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Mr. Ambassador Mabombe, Nintowa Shimulu Mbulwa.
Mkwai.
Mabombe. Katuishinga wale ngumfa turaputawa kasana limolimo.
Mkwai. We can hear you.
Mkwai. Waba mwamba, inalambi weke shakukunu mapa nono. Na mashu vala ndile vaka mbwili. Kwa time vaka mbwili vala ndile ukwe bati. Nkala munga ya ingira mwishi. Mufuire bonse mwaima. Bako bati muruishe yenkalamu. Bantu yenkalamu yali kalipa. Ba mwamba, I'm so disappointed with ba Kalava, ba Membe, ba KBM, ababantu. They could have helped Abanabo. They could have helped Abanabo. balipanga bapanga very big mistake. No, we want to do this, we want to do that. Ba tuchita disappoint chakwashani. Ba dibeshi bebakateka kubati bakateka ba be finish. So ababantu nga bali kolongeni pamo. We could have fought the battle. But ever panga very big mistake bamamba. Very big mistake. Hello. If for na Africa bamamba, including myself who is talking, to alikwatishamba jealous. Pantu ulionse atalefu kubalida. This is what has caused this problem. Aba names from Western world, tefyo baba. Babomba no kuluisha, no kumono ule bombesha ni nani hapa. Lelo, to each that discourage. We don't have to start talking and crying. It won't help us. We need to voice out bamwamba. Wali bama international law. Ichalo nach mono kwebati. Ababantu na bama vote. Ela bamwamba, to be honest with you, ni kupi. Bamudala bachita kup. Bantu bali shubokwe bati bali lusa. Bamwamba babantu kale bapinga. Emlandu wile bale foko na wila mapati yonse fe. Bashi yakofe tuino tungolongolo, tuino mapati tungolongolo, tawa bati bale tukontolola. Oto bale fwaya. Nomba mapati haya kulionse, bafwa yoko na ula. Pakwe bati babe feveka. Lelo, bale soko baba kumulu. Kamofia usha bumbiro kulilesa. Bamwamba bale sabapani kilo pusana. Ayama elections na yamanika no kumaneko kwebati na beba. Tuileka pofe bamwamba muileka pofe. Fueba landa pali imwe, we are very important people. Ichalo chila tumfwa. Mule mfaba mabefendelani.
Mkwa akulandeni ya my sister.
Bamwambe chalo chila tumfwa. Fueba landa, we are very few people, but I'm telling you the truth. Ichalo chila tumfwa bamwamba. Uyumulandu ama elections once na besho once abeshile mukuchita observe ko na besho kata ama elections ana beba kubika pomulandu bantu ababayimina pakwebati bakese to take bamwamba we have exercised our rights but batu poka ile right which means tabatu kwatilo mchinshi nangwa panono elo Zambia te ya muntumo, Zambia te ya patimo, Zambia ya abantu bonse. Bamwamba, ifika chitika kuli abantu bakapapa no kupapa. Elo, they are so bad. Efo bachi search, elo balefu ababa puishe bonse, bamwamba, uke kata kuli bamundu bile, akalube nshila bamwamba menzo ya akapufuka nke kata kuli bamundu nomba imwe bena Zambia tuli bengi mu Zambia tuyilekere afi yo tuime nga kuya mu street, let's do it nga kufa, let's die for that bamwamba no bamwamba era te tule yumfuilo oluse why yukula yumfuilo oluse we need to fight. We need to fight, whether they like it or not. Bakabola lava. Chile mfika no kumfika. Bale bepekesha mobufi. Nga punda babika bamundu bile pamulu. Dawaisa bika babulu babule fima 40 fing. What is this rubbish? What is this? They are killing people. Kanshi nga bateko bakule ama prison nangu. Once bapange Zambia ama prison. Once batuingisha ama prison. And that's it bamamba. Open apel.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Mr. Mwamba, may I remain anonymous?
Yes, anonymous. Make your contribution.
Mr. Mwamba, what we are seeing today is a plot that began way back, it should have been in 2017. The UPND started planning this in 2017 or 2016, immediately after, I think, Edgar Lungu won. And the plan was aimed at 2021. So what they started doing was, even when Edgar Lungu, in the time of Edgar Lungu, when they advertised for poor agents, they sent these people to go and apply. From the other part of Zambia, most of the polling agents, there's a group called the Friends of HH. Most of the polling agents countrywide were coming from that group. And it was a plot, it was a plan that whoever will be sent to Northern, Muchinga, Copper Belt, and these other provinces, they will have to work according to the plan. Those who were sent to Southern, Northwestern, Western, also they were given a mandate on how they were supposed to operate. So in 2021, Edgar Lungu lost using the same plan they are using today. Whereby, when they receive the ballot papers, those who will vote, that is in the Southern West, those who will vote, those who will not vote, they will vote for them. Even the polling agents who were for PF were part of that syndicate. They were part of the same syndicate. And at the end, they were even signing. They signed, and the results came out. In these other regions like Muchinga, no wonder today we've observed, we've seen, like, the people never voted. No, it was just a plan that we didn't see. So, we are somehow injured. These votes have been stolen countrywide, not only here in the Copper Belt or in Lusaka or here, countrywide. Muchinga, Northern, Luapula, no wonder we are seeing the low vote turnout. So it was a plan that in this other region, let it be low vote turnout. This other part, maximum. So, I don't know. It's an eye-opener.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Ambassador Kuduguni Nebo Mtale.
Yes, Mtale, make your contribution.
Yeah, I just want to urge the government to the whereabouts of Honorable Katuto Kafwaya. You know, everyone who cry, you know, it's very painful to have a relative, a father, a parent, that he promised that he'll be back by 20 hours, 10 hours, whichever time. But this man is more than 4 or 5 days. And now I'm getting to think that I'm actually thinking on behalf of the president, Brian Ndubile. If he was in the company of Makebi Zulu would have been shot dead. And in my view, in my opinion, Ambassador, I'm thinking that these people, they thought that Honorable Mutoto Kafwaya was Makebi Zulu. And that's why they shot him. Because if you look at the shooting, if somebody shoots upper body, it means to kill. Lower body can say, hey, I wanted to disarm this person. But upper body, the intention was nothing but to kill. And even Honorable President Ndubile, they discovered it was the wrong person. Maybe he's let go because they have not achieved the goal. But if the two were together today, both of them would have been crying that both of them have been killed. So I'm urging the government that this is a terror act, this is brutality, and I did not expect that during this time of the day in this country that we can experience this kind of a thing. You see, and this is one thing that we should rise and condemn it, and if you cannot condemn, then something has to be done. Ambassador, the wars that we are seeing, let me actually address this issue to the United Nations, to the AU, to the EU and AU, SADC, who are in the country today, that we have seen the crackdown of the immigrations across the globe. In England, in Europe, they're sending all most of the African immigrants. But don't forget that this immigrant or refugees is starting from this point that we are facing here today. When people are oppressed and they find themselves to EU, they should not be surprised because the EU are not speaking. The EU are not helping. There is no way when people are trying to exercise their right and their rights are being oppressed in a ballot. And then 2 minutes later, when the people go to EU, they go to any other countries in South Africa, people are being chased, even here. So for us not to have to be refugees, can the other people come and help us? We don't want to go and take the arms. We don't as our enemies or the Tongas to be the enemies, which is the case today. I'm not preaching hatred, but trust me, everybody look at HH as a devil, and anybody who aligns with him is a devil. Well, Ambassador, lastly, the group of UPND is an evil group. You cannot tell me that the whole entire UPND, there's no one who has got sense and can put sense within themselves, among themselves. What we are doing is wrong. It can only take the group of the evil to do what they are doing. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Let's take some more calls. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
From Mansa.
Yes.
Yes, I'm just a concerned youth. Just want to know what will happen to those people in custody, like Chester and the other group. Secondly, if they knew that they will still have victory, they went on even to shoot innocent people. Lastly, I'm very disappointed with political parties who can't support their friend Munduvire in this trying moment. I'm very sad as the youth because we thought maybe this our nation will change in some ways. So please, we would like to know all these questions. I just want to know, at least you give us some answers, or them, they give us some answers. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We are taking your calls. Today we started with your calls. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
This is Precious Inonge Mbiaga from Livingston.
Yes, Precious.
Honorable Emmanuel Mwamba, what is happening right now, it's really sad to see that Vamwangala Zalomes, she can do this to the people of Zambia. She decided to betray the people of Zambia even when she knows that Hakainde Hichilema is not a good person. What is happening, it's rigging. These people, they know from deep down their hearts, they know that Hakainde Hichilema did not win the elections. I'm just urging you people of Zambia, this is the time you should open your eyes. As long as you know that you did not vote for Hakainde Hichilema, this is the time you are going to fight for what is right. This is the time you are going to protest for your rights. Hakainde Hichilema cannot continue taking advantage of us. No one can lie that he can win elections through Southern Province. Southern Province, this is like a small Southern Province. Kalomo, Livingston is bigger than Kalomo, but how can they get 40,000? So Hakainde Hichilema, you should be ashamed of yourself. Myself, to be honest with you, same like I told you in 2022. Even today, I'm still telling you. You sent me in prison, you, that those letters were lies. But today, what was written in those letters is what we are witnessing. You are using military, you are using police officers to silence people, and you think like you get away with this. But Hakainde Hichilema, God who sees in secrets, is going to fight this battle for us. Whatever you are doing right now, you will not succeed in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you very much, Honorable.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Good evening.
Hello, caller.
Yes, good evening.
Hello, caller.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, caller. Please make your contribution.
This is Mr. Daka calling you from Kawe.
Make your contribution.
Yes, so one thing I would like to contribute on is how disappointed I am with the Bemba people, because it's like in Southern Province there's a lot of
Yes, sir.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, so it's like in Southern Province, it's like the Tonga people, there's a lot of tribalism, because looking at everything that's happening, looking at the numbers that are being given, and I remember last time, ECZ mentioned to say that there's a lot turnout of voters, but how come? Where are the 40,000 coming from?
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We'll be going to our analysis today. We'll go to our analysis. We're waiting for them to finish the results. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening, Mamamba.
Good evening.
Zephania is my name. I'm calling from Lusaka, Zambia.
Zephania, tell us about Mandevu. We're worried.
Yes, Mandevu, the situation has become worse. The UPND, after they have seen that President Hakainde Hichilema, he has lost, Brian Mundwire, he has got about 39,000 against 12,000 Hichilema, and Adrian Banda was leading, but was second, and Christopher was third, Christopher Shakafuswa. Before they declare, because Honorable Jean Kapata again has issued a letter of complaint that the elections were not free and fair because they stole the ballots. You remember the issue at Mutambe and Highland School. So the ECZ, they said they cannot declare at the moment. They would rather wait to hear from the ECZ chairperson to give the guidance. But UPND, this evening around 19 to 20 hours, when they were told, after seeing the results of Brian Mundwire reading with 39,000 votes, they beat ECZ, they have smashed the computers. People started running those who were at Totaling Center. Because I was supposed to go there, I was told that don't even come, the situation is bad. And these are the people, tomorrow they will say Marisha of Brian Mundwire, when they are well-known UPND cadres who have done that. It's there, the Totaling Center is deserted because they've destroyed everything at the Totaling Center and Olympia Africa there in Mandevu constituency. This is the situation. And what I can tell the Zambian people is that we have never seen such kind of elections which have been marred with violence, especially in Mandevu constituency. We have never had such kind of violence. And the president is quiet, ECZ are quiet, they cannot make any comments. And we are yet to see what they are going to tell the Zambian people tomorrow, what the UPND cadres have done at the Totaling Center. I hope, again, they will still blame NRPUP that these are the people who are doing the militia. And the other thing, when I submitted a letter to the town clerk, when I went to Civic Center, it was more like a war zone area. We were searched by the soldiers, and those are the ones who are searching to check on us, so I am shocked what is happening. Why are the soldiers all over in this country? Are we under the war zone or what? I hope maybe the Commander-in-Chief, President Hakainde Hichilema, will be able to tell the Zambian people, because what is happening is uncalled for, and we are wondering why elections are now being monitored by the Zambia Army and ZAF, ZNS. Why is it like that? Surely, are we in a war zone area? Or maybe, we don't know, maybe, because I am confused. You know, ever since I started participating in general elections, this one is a different one. There's too much terrorism, and they are labeling opposition party as terror. But now, what has happened today? And Karufianya is all over the show, walking freely, but is busy terrorizing the Zambian people. I think they will be able to respond to us what is happening in Zambia.
So what's the status of the election results in Mandevu? Are they declared?
The status, no, they haven't declared, because I think, I don't know whether they had already sent, because at the totaling center, they were supposed to send them now to main totaling center, but at the moment, for parliamentary, they said they cannot announce until, because there was that letter and what has happened.
Okay.
So at the moment, yes, at the moment, we are still in limbo, but the results.
The presidential results that were earlier announced, what were the presidential results?
Brian Munduvile was about 39,000 with the Natubana Pamwamba, then Hakainde was 12,000.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes.
And did you collect the Gen 20s? Did you collect the Gen 20s?
Yes, we have the Gen 20s. We have them. We have collected the Gen 20s. That's why we wanted to get now the actual, so that we start checking on what they were computing on the computer, so that we'll be able now to make again verification, because there was some at the I think twice. We noticed that they had even swapped the results. We told them they changed. And yesterday again, there was some mishap. They gave Brian Munduvile 150 instead of 300 and something, that given it to HH. And we said, no, these are not right from this stream. So they had to change. So, you know, Mingalato is there. And no one can refuse what has been happening. But we were vigilant in Mandevu, and this is what has brought now more confusion.
Thank you very much. Thank you, caller. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from, and make your contribution.
Province.
Thank you. Make your contribution.
Ukuringana na pape charo cha Zambia pochifikile na chifika patari sana. Mulandu wae ni ama laws waisavika kubabika ku cyber law eyo kabiri ichine ine constitution ya isachinja panumanga kwa ama elections bakateka takuri kupuma pachipuna kushana na ila instrument of power yakale vale shira ba chief justice chali weme nomba kulingana na pepo fili nefile chitika mchalo ama soldiers apa liponse ila bakateka ni ba commander in chief indo kuri ama elections kuri fiana filia so ngachako bati bamona ati ifini tunafiwa kosela kuti wabo mfyafe amakali yonso kulingana ife balefwa imlandu ine tule mwena abashirika apa liponse. So Zambia taipse ne fialo ifitungurwa na dictators. File fialo ifatungurwa na dictators. Chimo chine. So kanshinga chakwati ama citizens baba kwati na bairekeresha tiyo yonse to alikwata democracy. Kuti abantu bafuira mofi because ilo twala mona bali aba soldier na mari bali kumitwe balenda bena tabakonka chimbiyo kuipaya nga twabamona bali atapana muchimu. So ama ordinary citizens state balwe na bali abantu nangu kuchita ekiri kyonse bali ekyo baleko nkafe kuipaya nga mwachimona fya chitika kuisize ilio member wa NRPUP ilio achilanda po achila chita request ati baisize tibaleke okufunda ama results because ama results bachilapunda tayachiba win mwachimona fo bachibasenda mwachimona fya chitika na mumona ili video kusenda omuntu nga criminal musende enyo ero ekabwela abashirika ba Zambia na ba police abapusana omuntu kumusendanga criminal nomba katwishine ekyo bamutira credit kumuyita kuloko yabako nga stakeholder. So icharo pochifikulo tachiri wino nga twakwatako chance Yesu Kristo atuperako chance iyako bati kuntanshi bakateka abashire bonfya wino ama instruments of powers yarabakwata n'abayeshira bakwata. So kukabe okuchinja constitution okufumya mu fili efintu twalikwete ba Edgar Lungu bali kwete ira instruments of power bali ishibero ba Edgar Lungu bali bombereko na muhami lero bali ishibe fya kubomfya na lintu bapone ne bali reshita ndova power but bali kwete amakaya kukana ngaye ne akwete bakateka balete kushikuwelelo nayo ne makaya onse bali bomfya nawe ne ba Edgar bali kwete lelo bali konkere funde lya chalo nomba pamulando akana ishibe funde bali bomfya ekibomfye bomfya ero kulingana nepo bapese shechalo tatulene kero kwati nyango ine 5 years nga yapo bakesa rusho kufuma po awe bakaya kuisa because imilandu bali chitana ifula. So akaka bungwe kaba UPND kakarusho kukonkanya apo fyo kula kalete kafi. So ayo ema dangerous to kwete no banshishibe le safefe nga twafana ngula ama external forces ba America na bambya balolekeshako abe nga tulokeshako kutwafuisha ko pali fintu makamaka ukwisa achita review constitution ya Zambia kufumyako ama cyber laws kufumyako ifintu fimo like ine baita nankane public order act bafumyako fyonse filia pakwa bati president ngaleteka mwenso ati ushikubuli wonse nkafumapo ngana achitefi bakanji katangana achitefi chikavefi nomba mano bale tutwala ko bakateka aho bale twala femano ya mfyaro fya dictators kwena ine ukulingana efe bale echita ine njishibe fe kwati nabasenda Zambia pamutwe nokutontonkanya kwati tabakafumepo because ngalabe shibati bakafumapo tete bale echita efe bale echita.
Thank you.
Na totela sana.
Hello, caller. We are still listening from you. Before we begin our analysis, tell us your name and where you're calling from and make your contribution.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
Okay, this is James from Dola.
Yes,
Ambassador,
James.
I just wanted to ask you one or two questions.
Mhm.
Looking at the current prevailing situation, where do we go from now? Are we going to petition this election, or are we going to the International Criminal Court of Justice in order to present many atrocities that have been committed during and after this election? Those are my two questions.
Okay, thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Good evening, Pastor Mamba.
Good evening.
Yes.
Hello? Hello, caller.
First, I want to say I'm quite. Hello.
Yes.
Yes, I'm saying I'm quite disappointed with my fellow member and listeners. We call each other's friends and cousins, yet we cannot support our own. When it comes to vote, we cannot even turn up and go and vote. Look at the way Southern and Eastern, Southern, Western and Northwestern, they will come up with how they voted, the turnout, and we don't know if they. There's another thing I want to mention. It's the way our leader has shown us. In this case, I'm talking about the president himself. he has shown us the level of desperation that is willing to kill for him to be in power.
Yes.
Then there is another trick concerning Solway's results. I was listening to one of the video which was the returning officer was reading. He said the voter cast was 29,000. Then today the issue that mentioned says there are 54,000 which was they gave HH. Now where the difference from 29 to 50? Where is the 29 to 54 coming from? It's not making sense. If the voter cast were 29,000, where is the rest of the voter coming from?
Are you cut? Let's pick another caller. Our caller has been cut. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make a contribution.
Thank you. Good evening, Ambassador Mwamba, and good evening to the listeners.
Good evening.
Ambassador Mwamba, my contribution, my name is Soko, and I'm calling you from Chingola. My contribution is with regards to the status of the electoral result of our country. And I think you've so far seen that out of the 10 provinces, there is a possibility of 2 or 3 provinces determining the fate of the country. And I think that shows a lot of polarization and, of course, serious division in the country, that it will be very, very difficult to unite this country. And I am thinking that going forward, the best approach, in order for us to continue advocating for one Zambia, one nation, and of course to continue being as a unitary state, the best is to change the electoral process in the country. We move away from you can maintain the majoritarian position of 50+1, but I think we should now move away from counting the votes as in whereby you say this one has poured 5 million or the other one has poured this. We change that particular approach, but instead we now count the votes. The entire votes that will come from Southern Province, assuming, will give you one particular point, and then Northern Province, Muchinga, and everywhere else. So whoever now will obtain 6 points out of 10, it means that particular individual would have obtained 50+1, and that entails that person will be able to form government. What this entails is that it will push candidates to begin campaigning in different provinces, and other provinces equally to begin working together with other provinces in order to produce, a specific president. And that way we are going to unite this country. Unlike a process whereby we continue with this trend on relying on the number of votes poured, this will create division, and this division will be difficult to approach in the electoral process of our country. I submit.
Thank you very much. We'll be starting shortly. We just want to hear from you, because usually when there's matters like this, you want to speak. So I've let you speak. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from, and make your contribution.
Good evening. I don't know if it's good evening there, Ambassador Mwamba.
Good evening.
I would love to remain anonymous.
Yes, indeed. Make your contribution.
All right. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I've been trying to get through. Maybe there are so many people trying to call.
Thank you for going through.
Yes. First of all, I'd like to commend learned lawyer Makebi Zulu for joining hands with President Brian Mundubire to present a formidable opposition political party in 2026 general elections. He did a good job, unlike the other opposition political parties who decided to go their way. I would also like to talk about the Zambia Police Service, the way the current government has allowed these infiltrated UPND cadres given uniforms, and they present themselves like policemen and women, which are working with the current government to disadvantage the opposition. You can see even from the way they are conducting elections, the whole entire army is on the side of the UPND, the cadres, the police, ZNS, they are all on the side of the UPND. Anyway, I don't want to say much. Thank you so much, Ambassador Mwamba.
Thank you. Okay, we should be able now to begin.
TIZ is monitoring the 2026 general elections, and in addition to having deployed monitors to collect electoral incidents throughout the process, we have also been using an integrity index that measures discrepancies between the results announced by the Electoral Commission of Zambia at national level and those announced by returning officers at constituency totaling centers. Now, although TIZ also used this very index during the 2021 general elections, we have noted some misinterpretation and misunderstanding of the results by some stakeholders during this 2026 election period. A notable misunderstanding of the score is that TIZ has assessed all the presidential results announced thus far by the ECZ. Another misinterpretation has been that TIZ is endorsing the entirety of the results management process that the ECZ is following. In view of this, we wish to not only clarify the methodology of the Integrity Index, but to also call upon stakeholders, including the media, to accurately interpret the index and to engage us directly where any clarification is sought. I should hasten to mention from the outset that in providing this index, TIZ is not in any way, shape, or form endorsing the process that the ECZ has undertaken in terms of its results management exercise. Neither are we nodding it in the sense that it has been portrayed. The methodology of the Integrity Index assumed that the ECZ National Totaling Center would only receive results from the constituency totaling centers after the sharing of Gen 20 forms with stakeholders and also after the announcement of results at constituency level. But contrary to this assumption, our process monitoring subsequently revealed that in some constituencies, returning officers were instructed to send the Gen 20 forms to ECZ officials in Lusaka for verification before signing and before the announcing of the results was done at the totaling centers in the constituencies. Now, this is a clear departure from the process and procedure that was followed in the 2021 general elections. As TIZ, we did write to the ECZ to clarify this anomaly in the results handling process, but we have not yet received any feedback from the Commission to date. Now, given the significant risk associated with this anomaly, TIZ has expanded the scope of the Integrity Index in order to account for various process incidents that could compromise the credibility of the results announced by the ECZ. The weighted Integrity Index now assigns 50% on one end if all results match, and another 50% on the other end if there are no process incidents which compromise the counting process. This weighted Integrity Index has been applied to 53 of the constituencies that ECZ has announced, yielding a score of 96% because all results matched those that were collected by TIZ monitors, but the process incidents were identified in 7 out of those 53 constituencies announced. This more robust approach ensures that the index accounts for observed incidents at the totaling centers and not just the final count. TIZ will continue to use the Weighted Integrity Index in order to assess additional constituencies as the ECZ continues to announce more presidential results. Furthermore, we will also generate a final Weighted Integrity score once the ECZ has announced all presidential results from all 226 constituencies. As I said, we call upon media houses and other stakeholders to ensure that the results from the Weighted Integrity Index are interpreted and used appropriately, and to engage us directly where any clarification in that respect is.
Fix the idiot. Put him in custody. What's allowed him to do? Diplomatic what? Nonsense. Diplomatic. You are a diplomat. Son of a bitch. Stupid. Beat the chap. Put him. Fix the idiot. Put him in custody. What's allowed him to do? Diplomatic what? Nonsense. Diplomatic. You are a diplomat. Son of a bitch. Stupid. Beat the chap. Put him in handcuffs. Just put him in the cells. Arrest him. Beat the chap. He's an idiot. Very stupid. Arrest him. Stupid. Beat the chap. Put him in handcuffs. Just put him in the cells. Arrest him. Beat the chap. He's an idiot. Very stupid. Arrest him. Diplomatic what? You are a diplomat, you. You are a diplomat. Don't beat him. You are here to play. You think you are here to play? Put him in the handcuffs. Just put him in the cells. Arrest him. Beat the chap. He's an idiot. Very stupid. Arrest him. Diplomatic what? You are a diplomat, you. You are a diplomat. Don't beat him. He's an idiot. Very stupid. Arrest him. Diplomatic what? You are a diplomat, you. You are a diplomat. Don't beat him. You are here to play. You think you are here to play? Put him in handcuffs. Put him in handcuffs. You are a diplomat. Get off his accreditation. Diplomat. Very stupid. Stupid. They're hiding themselves. They're hiding themselves. You can't see them anywhere else.
Mrs. Mutotwe Kafwaya. I last saw my husband on Friday as he left home early morning. I spoke to him, I think, midday. I can't really remember the conversation. That was the last time I saw him. Around 17 hours, I started calling his phone. The phone went unanswered. Up to now, the phone is still going unanswered, but it rings. So Yesterday, the state made a statement to say there was a raiding at Mr. Munduwile's residence, and the friends were apprehended, and they are in state custody. And my husband's name is not there, but Mr. Brian Munduwile has confirmed that my husband was amongst the friends, and he witnessed him being shot twice. This is very disturbing to me and the children. I think that the time he stopped answering his phone, I think that's the time he was shot. From Friday around 17, 18 hours, I haven't heard from my husband up to now. So now, as the state confirmed that they apprehended his friends and he's not amongst the list, me as a wife, I'm appealing to the state to look into our plight, because we are in a dilemma. We don't know where he is. We reported the case to the police, and they are saying they haven't found him. But since the government yesterday confirmed that the friends were apprehended and their families are now free to go and visit their friends, and my husband's name is not there. So I don't know where to go. That's why I'm appealing to the state to come in, because the children are affected. I am affected. Family members are affected. The friends are affected. We don't know what to do. We don't know where to start from. We don't know where to hold we don't know whether to hold a funeral or not, because we can't hold a funeral without accessing him. We need to access him. It's just abnormal to stay from Friday night up to now. We don't know where our family member is. I don't know where my husband is. The children, they don't know where the father is. The youngest keeps on asking me, where is dad? What time is he coming? When you check his phone, he calls his father more than 10 times in a day. And when he hears me crying, he'll tell me, Mom, it's okay, Dad will come. Let me go and pray in my room. Imagine how that feels. I've got children who are in school. He is also in school. All of them, they're in school. They are missing out right now. How are the children going to concentrate? They are supposed to write exams, they are supposed to pass, they are supposed to progress. Their father is not here. We keep on waiting. So me, as an ordinary person, I want assistance. I want to know where my husband is, whether dead or alive, because I won't keep on like this. People are coming, people are calling. We can't hold a funeral without accessing him. Please, as a government, I'm appealing to you. As a state, I'm appealing to you. As a wife, you are affecting my health. You are affecting my health. I'll also die at the end, because this is not easy. This is not normal. Please help us as a government. Help us, because you already confirmed that there was a raiding by military personnel at Mr. Munduwile's house. And Mr. Munduwile confirmed my husband being amongst those people. So please, I don't know how safe my husband is. It's very cold. The state is responsible over my husband, because you confirmed that you raided that house. And my husband was shot at in that very house. I think I end there. Thank you very much.
Colleagues, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Home Affairs, Mr. Machembo, is at the far end there. We are also joined by the owner of the facility, the PS for Defense, Mr. Amaundu, is here. So Mr. Amaundu, please explain to the people, explain to the Zambians. Is Honorable Kafwaya here? and was Honorable Kafwaya shot by your army?
It's a laughing matter. I think we
fire here, and was Honorable Kafwaya shot by your army?
It's a laughing matter. I think we need to be serious as a people.
Fire here, and was Honorable Kafwaya shot by your army?
It's a laughing matter. I think we need to be serious as a people. We need really to move away from fabricating information. I actually came through to Maina Soko upon reading on social media that Honorable Kafwaya was shot and is actually at Maina Soko. And I can confirm to members of the public that that is unfounded. We had Maina Soko. I've checked the record. I've engaged the management here. At no time in the last 48 hours have they received any patient by the name of Honorable Mtotwe Kafwaya.
To be confident in the system that we have put in place. There are so many falsehoods that are being thrown around in our country in order to agitate the Zambian people, for the Zambian people to rise up or create a chaos in our country, create chaos in our country. Just today, I'm just hearing that there's a rumor going out there that President Mundubile has been arrested. There's no truth to that. And yet some people have taken it as gospel truth in order to agitate the Zambian people to be calm, to be confident in the system that we have put in place. There are so many falsehoods that are being thrown around in our...
Hey, thank you for your concern. I'm worried sick. Patrick is missing. I'm getting third-party information that he was with some others and that they were abducted by men in uniform, but I'm not sure if in fact these are men in uniform or if they were just thugs. I hear that one of them has been shot and the other one killed. I'm so worried. It's not like Patrick not to communicate for this long. He hasn't been home and the phone was just ringing. He hasn't been answering. I don't know his whereabouts. I don't know if he's okay. I just don't know anything. I'm blank. And I think at this point I can just appeal to the public. If anyone has any information about Patrick's whereabouts.
My name is Muwanga Kafwaya, son to Honorable Mtotwe Kafwaya. To the people of the Republic of Zambia, I haven't spoken to my dad in the past 2 to 3 days. The last time I spoke to my dad was on Wednesday the 12th of August, which was my birthday. We as a family have been wondering where he is, and we have been in suspense because we don't know how he is doing or if he is okay. Mr. President, you have 2 sons. Imagine yourself in my position. How would your sons feel if they do not know where you are and how you are doing and have no way of reaching you? Mr. President, I am appealing. Please, help me find my dad.
Yeah, my nephew has failed to read this. Therefore, I have...
Government wishes to inform the public that on the night of 13th August 2026, the Zambia Police, working on a tip-off from vigilant members of the public, led a joint operation to apprehend suspected militia and persons of interest in an operation that was conducted at a premise in Lusaka's Kabulonga area. The persons of interest have been under surveillance over the last few years and more recently in the last few months. Additionally, some of the individuals involved were connected to military plans involving foreign nationals and illegal military training camps, thus posing a serious threat to state security. The individuals in issue were found in possession of high-grade military weapons, ammunition, and other materials for use in armed insurrection. The operation resulted in the seizure of restricted high-grade military weapons and the apprehension of suspected members of the militia and other persons found at the scene, while others fled and their whereabouts are unknown. During the operation, the occupants of the premises fired shots at the law enforcement agencies, which resulted in an exchange of fire. Others found on the scene were senior members of certain political parties in Zambia. Among 11 persons apprehended from the scene of crime who face various criminal charges include Mr. George Sanga, Dr. Bishop Trevor Mwamba, Mr. Simon Piri, Mr. Richard Banda, Mr. Francis Mlenga, and Mr. Patrick Mwansa, all of whom are held in lawful custody at various police stations in Lusaka. The suspects have been charged and access will be given to their families and their lawyers. It is also important to mention.
Thank you, family. Please share the broadcast. Share the broadcast quickly. We begin and share the information. Listening to that is just very, very frustrating. All of a sudden, a lawyer like George Sanga, who's worked very hard in Nairobi, he's been our Law Association of Zambia president. Today, is a militia leader. Bishop Trevor Selawina Mwamba, distinguished bishop of Anglican in Botswana, bishop in London, for the Anglican, and his spouse is Ambassador Mwamba, who is daughter to the first president of Botswana. You have a young man, Patrick Mwansa. He was our councillor in Kablonga and is a businessman and is married to Tasila Lungu. All of a sudden, they are militia leaders. Come on, you can cook up better stories, and I'll tell you why. The one behind this is a rogue executive director at the Zambia Intelligence Security Service. Is extremely ambitious and is cooking up all these very dangerous stories that will harm our country for decades to come. All of a sudden, the classification of this country, today I was checking, because you've introduced presence of militia, presence of foreign nationals, military armed persons in the country. The scaling of peace in our country has gone down and security level has gone up. In this ranking, you can just check. I'll find someone quickly, share with you. That's the gravity of what they are doing. A man like Secretary to Cabinet reading such a statement, BBC, Radio Deutsche Welle, CNN quoting him that there are militias in Zambia and foreign nationals, it has already raised security risks. So there's a Boyd Kayula, a rogue executive director, totally ambitious, totally rogue things he's been doing. He's been threatening judges, civil servants. He's even been threatening, to round up all former service chiefs, accusing them of fomenting and plotting a coup, when he's the one that is doing all this. And they are driving and plunging our country into this chaos, a very peaceful country with a high profile that has held elections and the opposition win in our country. And even when they win elections, the incumbent has been able to give and pass on power peaceably. But this is not to be. And we'll be naming and shaming the characters involved. The Zambia Army commander, corruption accused, he was about to be arrested. Not by all the institutions, by the institutions under President Hakainde Hichilema. The ACC and DEC were conducting a joint investigations. There was an FIC report where he received $300,000 in relation to the corruption of the hospital equipment in Central Africa. They were about to pounce on him. He was chief of staff and deputy army chief. And what happened was a dismissal of the army commander, and the promotion of one who had the call out to be arrested became Zambia Army commander. So you can imagine he's the one superintending. He knows he cannot survive outside President Hakainde Hichilema. And he has a terrible history. In 2015, he was fired, from the Zambia army for similar misconduct. And then he led something that is cowardly in the vocabulary of the army. When our soldiers, 300 of them, were caught in Sierra Leone in peacekeeping mission, he disappeared on the soldiers, something you can never do. A general never leaves his soldiers. Read about it, why he is not respected even in the circles of the military. That's a one. And that's why you see this misconduct. He can say, I will exterminate and fumigate small-scale miners without even batting his lid. He can say that. He can deploy military personnel in polling stations, in totaling centers. He can direct them to chase our people, chase everyone, monitors, observers, party agents, and they can supervise the changing of elections for President Hakainde Hichilema. We are on the borderline of a coup with such an army commander because he's taken over the democratic and electoral process to himself and is trying to install the president. That relationship between the two is extremely dangerous. We've seen it play out in Africa. We've seen it, even the tensions in Zimbabwe, is as a result of a civic leader collaborating with the military in illegal processes. And they create a symbiotic relationship where one can't fire the other because they are afraid of each other. That's not our country. Our country is a democracy. Our country is one that has clear separation between the military, a respected entity. If I have found anything Zambians even get annoyed talking about, is talk about our Zambia Defense and Security Services. Even when the police are rogue, the people who side with the police, that's how much our country respects our defense and security forces. So to have a fella, one person, for his personal ambition, not even qualified, use the Zambia Security Intelligence, form a shadowy group, harass people. And then you have this army commander, corruption accused, and he's even committed more offenses, grabbed people's gold, the small-scale miners, that there's an investigation against him, up to 500 kg of gold that he has grabbed from the raids that they've been doing. You saw they just apologized the other day. A video emerged, and many people were condemning us that Emmanuel is AI. But the Zambia army came and said, we apologize that our soldiers beat a small-scale miner like that. We have since taken action. All those things are being done on the head of the Zambia army commander. He should know that there are ramifications. We've had very powerful commanders, even more powerful than him, that have been arraigned in our courts of law and they've been jailed. So this wanton behavior, threatening our national security, threatening our peace and security, threatening our constitutional offices, cannot be allowed. And the dastard act of just going after our electoral and democratic process is totally unforgivable. Someone has written, what if it's the president that has sent him? Well, it even becomes grave. It even becomes grave. We have a democratic process in our country. So the behavior of these two persons need to be... So Lochi seems to have calmed down when we named him. We exposed this corruption, what he was doing with the ZNS, ego milling, the theft that they were doing there with FRA, and the illegal deployment of soldiers that he was trying to do with Electoral Commission. When he was put on the spot, he realized there were so many eyes on him. And in this particular election, he has somehow retreated. But we've seen the Zambia Army Commander step up in the illegalities and conduct what they're doing. And this rogue executive director, Boyd Kayula, who is harassing people, he has cooked up this militia story like he has cooked up on the previous stories. And that is why, when we, they infiltrated the Tonse Alliance, the Tonse Pomozi Alliance, they infiltrated it so much, like who made the decision to take our young people for training in Russia instead of South Africa. It was for this day that when we are calling for help, people are telling you that you have Russian links. The Tonse Alliance is also highly compromised. There are certain actions that were done. They were trying to set up a solid, proper PVT, and they criminalized that process and locked up Bernard Kamba. There are certain things that happened there. But there's been weak links inside Tonse Pamosi Alliance to cause the chaos that you are seeing. Some things were pre-engineered so that, because the president has had an assessment since 2 months ago when Brian Mundwile and Makebi came on the scene, that the political scene had totally changed. Before 2 months ago, the race was actually without anyone. President Hakainde Hichilema was going to win. But when at the last minute Brian Mundwile and Makebi Zulu came, and there was just that sudden shift, and reports were given to the president that he would likely lose elections. You could see how he concentrated in certain areas, some places going 2, 3, 4 times. He was working from reports where they told him that those were places of weaknesses. We want to open the phone lines. That's why I gave you a lot of time mulande point, so that Nandandepo tuwe at the same time. So the raid on Brian Mundwile, we were privileged. He was here in the morning for the breakfast show. He explained they came from the African Union. There were a delegation from meeting the African Union. Bishop Trevor Mwamba, George Sanga, our presidential affairs officer. Patrick Mwansa, who's been working, with logistics in the office, and Mutoto Kafuaya, and I'm so grieved about Honorable Mutoto Kafuaya. I'm so grieved. He's such a gentle giant. He's actually taller than me, so we call him a gentle giant. He's so tall, so huge, but so gentle. And his politics. His politics were never malicious. His politics were always issue-based, policy-based. He's not one who would strike you that was malicious against President Hakainde Hichilema or any other. But he was shot twice, and not with a pistol, with a military-grade weapon, because those commandos didn't have your taka-taka weapon when they stormed, and shot twice. All of us, our fears around that. And despite the pleas by Honorable Brian Mundwile asking the soldiers to prioritize, even if he was being beaten, being stepped on, being dragged on, Mundwile was pleading for Mutoto Kafuaya, who was bleeding profusely. Take him to the hospital. Take him to the hospital. Take him to the hospital. They didn't hear to his plea. And all this is arising from fake intelligence, from Boyd Kayula, very ambitious. He's got the ear of the president and is misleading a frightened president. He's providing solutions that will harm this country, that are unconstitutional, that are illegal, that are brutal, that may harm this country for a long time. Because kings are troubled. Bible scholars, for you who go to church, when Jesus was born, a day-old Jesus, and King Herod was told by his seers that a king is born. What did King Herod do? King Herod said, kill every child below the age of 5. He didn't even want to gamble. He wanted, if the information had reached him late, he wanted not to take chance. The seers, indo shishako shali mona, ulubuto lwachinja kwafyalwa imfumu. And King Herod ordered the killing of everyone, every child, every son that was below the age of 5. That's what happens to kings. They are so unsettled when their power has been taken away. Even, can you imagine a baby Jesus threatening a king on the throne? And I don't know how many children died. You have the similar story, A savior has been born is going to be born in this season in Egypt. Who will let the people go? Who will let my people go? The seers for Pharaoh saw, they said, kill every child below the age of 5. So when President Hakainde Hichilema has been told, a president has been born, another president, Mundubile, will likely take over. We are looking at reports from Northern, from Rapula, from Lusaka, from Copperbelt, even from Southern Province, Mr. President, people will not turn up. Look at the Herod and his response. Look at the Pharaoh and his response. And this path for students of history, you see how they react. Then you have a Boyd Kayula, very ambitious rogue intelligence officer, feeding the president with false information, with false conspiracies. All of a sudden, Chester, our musician, now is a criminal. Ambassador Martha Lungu, these are now criminals, members of the militia. Bishop Trevor Mwamba, now these are militia members, according to Boyd Kayula. And then you have a corrupt, accused Zambia Army commander, who's just looking for his seat and the amenities that are provided to him. And Secretary to Cabinet, Mkalambawandi Patrick Kangwa, you know, I don't know whether to feel sorry for him, because he has had the best training. He's Catholic, you know, he's been an administrator for a long time. I worked with him very well at Cabinet Office. He was then head of DMMU. Was not even at the level of permanent secretary at the time. It was just a departmental head. He was head for a long time. He had been appointed by Rupia Banda. And he's been a respected figure in the sports fraternity. To see his conduct, the way we saw him during the demise of the late President Edgar Lungu, and reading that statement, Murina nevas mumba audience mwachi bamona abale tungirisha. No, we can do better. We can do better. All of a sudden, our party cadres are militia members with high-grade weapons. Party cadre, we don't want to condemn. No, but that party cadre, if he's seen around the brand moon, those are militias, according to the small mind of Boyd Kayula. Because it's frightening a president that has possibly lost an election and a president that's desperate to retain power. What has Mundubile done? All Mundubile did is to campaign and win this election. He received favor from the people of Zambia. That's his crime. He's not a militia leader. He has not put any forces together. He has not done anything illegal. In fact, he was very conscious of all the 54 rallies he held and meetings. None of them did he occasion the violence. The violence came from the police and the violence came from the UPND cadres. Even in the polling station where cadres are marching, burning, destroying election material, none of them are reported to belong to Tonse or Pamosi Alliance. You saw Tshala in Kabwe, where Brian has had commanding lead and where he swept the 3 seats in Kabwe and the presidential vote. And when the people came to change, Tshala from Kabwe, he didn't say, can the party cadres come, we fight with these 3 vehicles that have come with these people to come and change the results. He didn't. In all this process, the admirable conduct of Brian Mundubile and Makebi Zulu has been very good. When after the traumatic experience, he has seen his friend, one of his best ally, Mtoto Kafwaya, shot and possibly shot dead. They take him, they harass him. The president has so much pressure when the information leaks out that they have to release Brian Mundubile and his family to immediately release him. When he found a phone call within 10 minutes, Brian didn't call for the people of Zambia to rise. I asked him here, where are you? We bring people to to see you. In his entire interview, unresearched, unguarded, in a traumatic state, Brian Mundubile didn't call for violence. He called for peace. He called for responsibility. He kept on saying he has done nothing wrong. And the attack on him was totally unjustified. You saw how I probed him. Who else was there? He said, just my usual bodyguards. My usual bodyguard, Mwalimu Shiba, Chandanaba Nankwe Bali Panse. How can... He spoke peace. What is your last word? He spoke peace the entire time. If Brian is power hungry, if Brian is leading a militia, when we had the attention of the country after he was released, after there was international and local attention, if Brian had called for the people of Zambia to rise, they could have risen. He chose not to. In fact, he used something that I admire him for. He says, what kind of a president will I be to rule over ashes? That's a high mark of responsibility. What kind of a president will I be ruling over ashes? What he meant is if he said, Mwantu wa Kwalesa, they are stealing election, be on the street. President Ichilema was going, and the Zambia Army commander, the corruption accused Zambia Army commander, we are going to abuse our military resources to harm our citizens. Brian refused to do that. Even if any other person in that position would have been tempted. And today you have Patrick Kangwa and this Boyd Kayula cooking up stories that we have militias in our country. What kind of irresponsibility is that? No, Vanen. We all love our country. We all love our country so much, and we just want the best of our country. The PVTs that show that Brian Mundubile is leading, I had Sishua here for 2 hours, and he has repeated that information on the various platforms. Yesterday he was with PALU, this Pan-African Lawyers Association, PALU. They held a solidarity Zoom meeting for Zambians, and many of you joined. Linda Kasonde was one of the speakers, Sishua, and many key Zambians participated in that process. And to the BBC and here, Sishua demonstrated that the 4 PVTs, credible PVTs, have been done, and they're all showing that Brian Mundubile has won these elections by 51%, the other one by 53%, the other one by 54%. There's even an optimistic one by 58%. But there is a decision by the president to literally overturn this election. And this is why you saw the deployment of soldiers across the country. Civic centers were taken over. Results were wantonly changed without due regard whether you are the G20 or not. And where you produced the G20, they confiscated it and locked you up for having illegal documents or something like that. The pinnacle of transparency in our electoral process is the G20, because the G20 is your audit trail. What we signed at polling station, we won't say if we were UPND, by Citizen First, by NRPUP, by Socialist Party, and ECZ staff. If we ever to sign, that's what the G20 does. That audit trail document is now highly sought after. And intelligence, police have been deployed to confiscate, get, grab, lock up. In Kanyama, our young boys just made a mistake and said, but here are the signed G20 by your officers. That here, they were rounded up, the G20 grabbed from them, and they've been locked up in Kanyama police station. And that's a pattern everywhere. So what has Brian Mundubile and Makebi Zulu done? What has Bishop Mwamba and George Sanga done? What has sometimes when we are giving our editorial, hello caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
First of all, this is David Moyo Wambwe Mongo.
Yes, David.
To me, it's not a contribution. Today, I want to ask you a question. If you're not comfortable answering it, you can call me when you're out of air. My question is a very simple one. Given the current situation, we've all seen what has happened. I'm not going to repeat what has happened. We all know what has happened. So now, let's moving forward. I want to know your position. What do you think? I know it's collective, but I wanted to know what your position is going forward.
Okay.
What are our options? What options do we have?
I'll give you the options. I was here. I kept on urging you to go and vote. I kept on urging you to protect your vote. I kept on urging you to form a polling station committees. You obliged. We will discuss that. You turned out to vote. Massive Lusaka, Copper Belt, Mwale Umfwa. We are very glad. We had massive turnout, Luapula, Northern. Don't believe the Adamari out Siamufi, don't believe them. Neko Mwale Monak Southern Province. I don't know how many videos we have, of Southern Province where people were saying, "Abantu bali kwi 14 hours takuli queue, kuchoma." Livingstone, you heard the ladies that were in Livingstone saying, "This is not Livingstone. Livingstone, you stay on the line. You'll be voting late into the night. Choma, Monze, Mazabuka." So fidabale verenga vaisi zeta ma turn out 70-80% ya fumine kuisa mwantu wa kwalesa. Kwa tuwalewe pavana, And you have places like Chingola. Brian is leading by 39,000. By 39, mwafumiyako almost 20,000 votes. Kufumiyako abantu 20,000, 10,000 mwabafumiyako abantu. Walubila kwisa. My point is, we asked you to vote. We asked you to turn out. And we asked you to protect the vote. For the first time, I've never seen in an election where so many G20s are flying. Our people obliged. So in the event that this election has been stolen, what do we do? Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Yeah,
Yo twaeshako.
Dana ine never baka wepano anonymous.
Mkaiwa anonymous.
Ine number 1 ocho tulefuwa sana. Chakoba mutuwebeko bushe the way forward to alashita nishani because abantu nga twalekera kifine abantu tapali fo bala mwana kwa chiti byabazambya ni bonse tabakweta amano so na ifo tubalanga ati fifentu na ifo tatemenwe echa number 1 echa number 2 ukukundu ku southern kumyabo twalishwa ko A up to Z ukulingana kutundu mwenzo ko bapunda konse kuna mwala ni kwisa munango mamoso maleputa pali puta twaishiba ako tubombela sana tapali ako chamusenda kwefya kusenda malaisi tulamu kusendako tapali apashala tapashani tibanganda twaka mukamu kutundu mwenzi abantu nga bafula sana bafuma koko balanda ma 5,000 10,000 inisha abantu nabafula nomba efe tule umfwa pia na tutapuisha sana so please twapapata twafweni because abantu kuya kwena takwaba all of this time ba southern tabavote takwali amavote afumine ko fyabu fi pa Choma Central nalikwata Prulo ulipo owa epo alina pakuvotesha aza ponda ja Prulo kulonta paya bavotera abantu alipa enyala PUP tabafumine because pa Choma Central pa percent twashita combine ama result yonse almost 7,000 yandishani yashiranda but ifwe natukata almost 3,000 bena batuchirako but now kwata almost 7,000 but kwiza mukumfu ama result alefu mapo achipapa sana lero kuntumina funya chuma mulefuna chiramiwa nomba abantu nabatutapuisha so please kwa papa idiyashi piperera papene idiyashi ababantu balaberesha ababantu balatuberesha please kwa papa ta bantu chawakaende techaro chawo chino bakuti bakaende baletufu pepo bafwa.
Let me take the last call, then I finish my thoughts. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contributions.
My name is Mwansa. I'm calling from the Copper Belt.
Yes, my brother, make your contribution.
Yes, so you say that this has been a conspiracy cooked up by the president's intelligence. Well, my question would be, do you think that the people that are surrounding Brian Mondobile are easy to spin, the narrative is easy to spin around them? And perhaps to mention some notable figures, JJ Banda, Lily Mutams, although they are not necessarily in the inner circle, but those are the people that are identified as the foremost speakers for Brian Mondobile. When you hear some of the rhetoric coming from these people, it's very clear that it is divisive rhetoric, and therefore it is easy to spin certain narratives on the basis of these people. Wouldn't it be wise for Brian to maybe surround himself with more level-headed people, maybe like yourself and others? Because what the narrative is on the ground is that when people listen to these people speak, what seems to be on behalf of Brian, and even the unfortunate statement that was perhaps misinterpreted when it was made by Binwell concerning self-defense and being ready to kill or die, it seems to me that the way forward for Brian is to surround himself with more level-headed people. Because as long as these people are surrounding Brian, the narrative will not change. And it will even be easier for the international community to believe the lies that you say are being cooked up by the president's intelligence. I submit.
Thank you very much. So have we opened the phone lines? Because now the phones are tapped up. Hello, callers. Welcome to today's broadcast and make your contribution.
I've only got one word to remember.
Yeah.
Money talks, bullshit walks. That's exactly that president has done, together with all his puppies. Full stop.
Thank you very much. Okay, let me finish my... Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Good evening, Your Excellency.
Good evening.
Yes, in the first place, it is not something that everyone hasn't seen. Everyone who has got eyes, actually, even if your eyes are closed, you can be able to see that these are shameful elections, to say the least. You know, where have you seen a situation whereby Moba Mwamba, you got 250 votes? Me, I get 55. Somebody put 4 there, it comes 455. Now people can even now adopt it that maybe we can become very rich. If I give you 20 kwacha, I just have to add 400, so that become 450 to 420 kwacha. Which they are calling now Nyampande formula. You know, you might even laugh as if this is a laughing matter. Where have you seen such kind of election? Probably you might bring that clip of what was happening is it Muzanzara, that where there's Nyampande, where that it was tabulating how the figures were changing.
Okay, let's watch that. And
I've
seen people asking for that. Let's watch that.
And then you go to
Let's watch that. Let's watch that. Yeah, let's watch that.
Muzanzara constituency, we are not satisfied with the figures on the summary given to us by ECZ and the figures on our Gen 20s that we collected from our polling stations. So as you can see here, we have, we'll start with Nyampande 2, Nyampande primary stream 2. If we come to Nyampande primary stream 2, our Gen 20s are saying Brian Mondobile has 276, UPND has 59. But if we come to the summary here, we have in Nyampande 2, we have Hakainde Ichilema 359 instead of 59 that's on our Gen 20. If you come to Brian Mondobile, they've maintained the same figure, which is 276. So the second one is Nyampande stream 3. If you come to Nyampande stream 3, we have Brian Mondobile with 246 and 247 and UPND with 51. But if we come to the summary here, Nyampande stream 3, we have Hakainde Ichilema with 351 instead of 51. And we have Brian Munduwile with the maintained figure, which is 247. The next one also, we have Nyampande stream 4. The Gen 20 says 296 and 59 for UPND. But if we come to our summary here, it's saying Nyampande stream 4, it's saying 409 instead of 59 for Hakainde Ichilema, and 296 for Brian Munduwile has been maintained. So we go to Nyampondolo here. Nyampondolo says Brian Munduwile 312. Then we have Hakainde Ichilema with 46. But if we come to the summary here, Nyampondolo is saying Hakainde Ichilema 346 and Brian Munduwile maintained with 312. We also have Ray. Okay, let me just do this. Let's go Matunga. I think we have Ray here. Ray 1 and 2 also have the same issues. So we have Ray 1, Ray stream 1. The Gen 20 says Brian Munduwile 330.
Thank you very much. The lady did very well to compare the results that were obtained from totaling centers, and in the result management document, the results that were submitted to Lusaka, fake results. And we've seen more evidence of that, where they are shaving off sometimes up to 10,000 votes. Or like the case of Kalomo, where they're adding up to 10,000 votes. And you see the results at the totaling center. And in the result management document being sent to ECZ, they add a 10,000. 10,000, I want to win 10,000. Either Mawafumiyako Mwabikapo. So that election is a sham. Someone was saying, are you watching the results? I said, I'm not. Because most of them are not credible. They are a sham. The Gen 20s that have been totaled up demonstrate that those elections are. That's why ECZ is not allowing proper question, proper evidence. When Celestine tried to present the Gen 20 they had from a constituency presented, his accreditation was revoked. When Roosevelt Tonga went to ECZ and said, is it possible that you can suspend the announcement of these results? Because all the announcement of these results are disputed. And, in the result management release, how it is done, is that there is a verification at the National Totaling Center. So before ECZ commissioners come to sit to the podium, they will call your stakeholders, and then you will verify together the results. Then they walk in and announce the results. That is not happening. And our agents at Mulungushi are made to sit in the audience. Then they are not allowed to question. And when they question, you saw the young man that came in pajamas, so contemptuous. The police couldn't touch him. All he had to say is that he's UPND or UPND Alliance. No one could touch him. He went, directed an electoral board, which is a constitutional body. By law, no one is supposed to direct them. He directed them what to do. And they implemented after that. They are not allowing political question as directed by a UPND cadre. So let me just answer those questions. Mwantu wakwaleza nalilanda nga mwesa pa platform pano mwilaleta kweli ashita kwa tayali oidia kwa lili oidia kwa jeje banda that is a pact I have with you, is that come to my podium, pick the topic I'm discussing, and let us discuss that topic. Please don't bring any other person in my discussion. Ishamanako ba Times of Zambia why batifile mbele ba Dedime utafiri bwino. Your choice, it's your choice. You to why berenga Times, why berenga Daily Mail, why berenga ZMBC, why berenga news diggers. Yo bakoswe bara tukasana wakoswe. That Koswe thing is very bad. Why are you reading it? So don't come and resolve the issues of Koswe on my page. So please mwanjele lako. Aba nandi na wefe bale chita. sometimes I'm discussed at these platforms, and I send them messages. Don't allow me to be discussed. I think all of us have a topic that we are discussing. So that would be my appeal. But the principal issue you are asking, let me go to the principal issue, that can the president review the people around him? Obviously, you have to forgive the Tonse Pamoze Alliance. First, you have to forgive even Makebi Zulu. He has just come, won an election. He was just familiarizing himself. We were deep in an election. That Pamoze Alliance comes to Tonse, also which was just gobbled up together. There has been no time for institutional mechanism, institutional jailing, and proper. This was an ad hoc arrangement, both from Tonse and Pamoze. That is why we couldn't even resolve the issue of two candidates. That has cost us. Look at Mandevu. Although the other, the NRPUP had won, but look, Jean is very strong and Banda is very strong. That undermined our candidate. It was never resolved. But you can attribute it that these are colleagues that have come together just in the last 2 months. And you have to forgive them. They've done the best. In fact, we should celebrate them. Under 2 months, they're at the verge of taking power. Under 2 months. So I think something, for me, let's look at the positive. There'll be a postmortem. They review what needs to be done better, and they'll come up with systems and better way. But this was an ad hoc, a child born in an election and told to run a 42-kilometer marathon, where the Ngungis and Kitiongos that ran the marathon for 10 years, a child was born in the race and told to compete with these people. So for me, Tonse Pamoze Alliance did a wonderful job. Brian Munduvile Makebi Zulu did a wonderful job. So instead of celebrating that, let's not go to the weaknesses. Remember when I was exposing the Zambia Army commander and this rogue Boyd Kayula, and how he's alarming the president with false information, where now they've put us in this perilous situation, is that there have been weaknesses, infiltrations, and other things, even in our camp. I said I can't discuss that because I can't discuss my own camp. So that is for post-mortem. It's not that there haven't been weaknesses on our side. There have been weaknesses, and I said that at the beginning. Mwabantu Wakwalesa, I saw another video for Vauden Findlay's brother. He's still counting down. Vauden Findlay hasn't had access to the family and to the lawyers. Martha Lungu and Hannah Israel Katontola were released. These were in the administrative office of Honorable Brian Munduvile. Sebastian Copeland, something traumatic happened to him. He's having a cup of tea with Emmanuel Nkoma in Woodlands. There's a cafe just next to the police there, and a horde of policemen came in anti-riot gear, in anti-riot motor vehicles, and stormed that cafe and picked Sebastian Copeland and Emmanuel Nkoma. Mrs. Emmanuel Nkoma, Reverend Emmanuel Nkoma, who's a reverend and runs a church in Durban, is still crying for Emmanuel Nkoma. It's been 8 days. And Emmanuel Nkoma hasn't been given bond, hasn't appeared in court. He's still kept in a hole somewhere. We have Kenneth Kamba, remains detained. We have Fraser Msonda, former PS. These were colleagues that were trying to set up a PVT. They criminalize this Boyd Kayelu, criminalize a PVT. They are trying to recruit former soldiers to man the polling stations, They think we are not aware of what they do, and they crack down on Fraser Msonda and Kenneth Kamba. We have the sad loss of Stereos Shula Sadanes. That murder is connected to the politics because of the issues that we had discussed earlier. We have Danienga, and congratulations, Danienga, despite the harassment, we understand he's been declared winner. But, we've congratulated people here and we wake up the following day. they will have just sent some other people to change the results. And, you know, our congratulations have been short-lived. But Danny Yenga's security young man, Brian Mwila, famously called Baba, this is the first time we saw the use of the military in an insidious operation. When I explained it here, people said, no, maybe you're just mistaking the police. So Brian Mwila was the first one where Danny Yenga's campaign center was stormed by 2 Land Cruisers of soldiers, commandos, and they picked Baba, Brian Mwila, and he remains. These are the people that are saying militia. I'm a party cadres, but aba security. You know, all of a sudden they are militias. This is what this Boyd Kayelu has classified them in his rogue reports to the president. We have those kids that were, those members of security that were arrested in Chipata, Rick Chambawilo, Thomas Mvula, Peter Mwaba, Rickson Piri. Now we have the latest George Kunda, Bishop. I saw an alert here. Someone was calling me. Probably there'll be a statement from here because that's an international bishop. And then in the morning, if you were listening to a broadcast, there's Wamayo, who is a cousin to Bishop Mwamba. She is a freedom fighter. You know, in her old age, she sought the phone and she called. It was such an emotional call for those that listened to it in the morning. What do we do before I open the phone lines? What do we do? An election has been stolen, what do you do? The law provides for remedies. So number one is a legal process. Is that Honorable Brian Mundwile should assemble a team of lawyers and they should gather the evidence. The law gives up to 14 days to challenge the results that to be announced by ECZ. Diplomatic, that's another route. People like us should call people we know who should, at the level of the president, speak to the president, highlight these challenges. They have people on the ground, they have embassies on the ground. The embassies can give similar reports, status report. They don't have to listen to Emmanuel Mwamba. There can be a status report from any embassy. That's another avenue. So there's a legal avenue, diplomatic avenue. There's a stakeholders engagement. The Council of Elders, the church, you know, the seniors in our country, former leaders that have seen the path where our country is. Not senior leaders, but like Wanevas Mumba, you know, to the country in the name of politics. Yet he's a man of God who held such a high position, but he has become part of the destruction of our nation. So the other one is stakeholder engagement, where you now engage stakeholders, the people that can reach the president, the people that can reach some of his close people, the people that can speak to the country and provide wisdom. Then there is mass action. You voted. You protected the vote. You must protect the results. Those are the 4 actions. You can do either of them. What I'm seeing is Zambians are saying, let me just take this call, just in case there's something I've missed.
That Mr. Brian Mundwile, presidential candidate for the NRP.
Mrs. Mutotwe Kafwaya. I last saw my husband on Friday as he left home early morning. I spoke to him, I think, midday. I can't really remember the conversation. That was the last time I saw him. Around 17 hours.
Sorry, Mama, we'll play those videos later. because someone was just alerting me about what's happening in Solwezi Central, the ridiculous results, where the total vote cast was 29,000. ECZ has reported 56,000. 30,000, you manufacture 30,000 votes. This is how shameless this ECZ is. So shameless, so desperate. You have total votes cast 29,000. Mwasawerenga ku ECZ at 56,000. Na mwe bale fitamba imwe nendesha blame. We need. So those are the results. Those are the proposed solutions. Here we told you, we analyzed what was wrong. We proposed what needed to be done. We told you the threats when they were recruiting polling staff. We told you when they were changing council secretaries and others to, who are district officers. We told you what you needed to do. So now you're asking me for the question. What should we do in light of this? Well, what we should do is exactly what I've said. Diplomatic, people that can speak to the president. In Lusaka alone, I think you have about 4 former presidents that are there. Utilize them. They are there to monitor the elections. They are leading observer missions. You be with them, speak to them, see if they can speak to the president. You have people like the Catholic Church. We understand when they were about to issue that urgent pastoral letter that the president and State House refused to see them at Pantwale. You had candlelight dinners, masses, but so stakeholder engagement. Then mass action. The mass action is you voted. You then protected the vote. You have a right to protect your results, So those are the solutions you can discuss. If you have any other solution, and tell us. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Hello, Bamwamba
Mkwai Mayo. Mkwai mwe na kamfinsa landeni po.
If you much land affiliate, what is the way forward?
Mkwai.
Number one, which Ngalanda, Profina legal proceedings ya Tampeko. Then number two, which Nala sana E party, even the group, they just did it within 2 months. Then look at how they have performed. So my suggestion is, please, let's help our 2 leaders not to separate at any time. Let's unite and move together and fight together. Let them not separate at any time. We wouldn't want to hear such stories. Thank you.
Continue, Mama. Thank you. Yes, caller. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution. Hello, caller. Landisheni kwa yama tamle umfuika. Ndita yama landeni po.
Bamwamba kuombera pamo kutukwabo kuombera pamo mmefi chitika pale yama party yabi izoruti na NRPUP bali bombere pamo pakati wafika kuli ino stage era ekyalo ekitika kuyaba n'ensukka mpuuku bakwenalapiu twale babalera ndukwe batyo bakuvoota mukalevota ffe abapeera mpi yo aboota tubeshiire ffe apalafira mamona so kulibamu baleyamba okulenuka okumona kwe bata kanshi balabe n'abapainalapiu kabakite fight teeka mamona kozi ekyalo ekitika balyambira okupatula kulala ndukwe batya aboota tubeebishi byabapacoola yoshani ffe apalanga efe mamona so epabeera obwafi bwabwe batina ng'okubombera pamupali kitike ndi kuti kwabo okushupa but tikyawama bokwe bati kwabo okubombera fikyapa nombaba n'ensuma wali mwene n'efe jeje bandala ekita alira ndukwe bati abapafyola mwira ikatana kumule yafe abapeera mbi baba nga kita fight inshubushe bapeera mbi be kumine bonse so katuishe bufyala abapalisi.
Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
His Excellency, Ambassador Mwamba, I always say the funny thing about life and politics, it's a written script. ECZ, the Electoral Commission of Zambia, recalled NRIUP from Chipata to say, we are coming to give you a calendar for your campaigns. They gave them a calendar, gave them the authority to visit wherever in those days, even gave them where to be, which province. Let's jump the other provinces. They didn't come on an illegal gathering in Western Province. Before they could come, the member of parliament standing for UPND made a threat and organized the youth to say they should fight the other party when it comes. When the Litunga heard this, to say there'll be threats as this and this, he didn't do anything, but he went to the church. He went to church and he called all the political players. He prayed for peace and gave a command. Western Province, it's an open door. It's campaign period. Allow everybody to come and campaign in my province. Everyone agreed. At the entry point of Brian Mundubele coming into Western Province, they were attacked in Wampa. The Law Association of Zambia, ECZ, none of them lifted a finger and said, oh, those guys, that's a democratic right. Why are they getting attacked? Grant and them pursued their trip. They came to Mongo, went to Limulunga. In Limulunga, they were barricaded by the police. The police surrounded the palace. They were harassed. They said, no, we're not giving up. They went to Kalabo. They were attacked. Where was the Law Association of Zambia? Where was ECZ? Because that's the democratic right. This is the democracy we fought for in 1991. So what I'm asking is, all these Zambians didn't see anything wrong. They still came back. Half his crew was arrested in Kalabo. They still were having now, all the places, all the venues in Mongo were blocked by government. People had to spend hours and hours to negotiate for that place where they were. Still, the police went and tear gassed them. No one stood up, no Association of Zambia, no NGO, not even ECZ who had given them the mandate. And no one even questioned who stopped them to have rallies, who blocked the venues. Don't you find that strange? Someone once told me to say, you guys in Zambia, you think you are peaceful. Zambia is not peaceful. Zambians, you are not peaceful. There's no peace in Zambia. I said, what do you mean? He says, David, you are cowards. You Zambians are cowards. You are not docile. You are not what? You are just cowards. To tell the truth, with that military presence, the army, the presence of the army in the police stations and everything, there's no Zambian who can stand up and protect or do whatever he can do. It's not that they're happy, but what can they do? Zambians, I'm a Zambian too. We are not peaceful, but we are cowards.
Thank you, David. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Hello, Bamwamba, Nevo, Mary Banda, Kukabwe.
Mkwai.
Mkwai. Therefore, if you're Kulanda Popali, Abash, Kulanta, Chando, Kwevati, Ativa, Ichola, Nape, Lampero, Valley, Sala. Ichi chintu, Tachikumi, Nefieva, Bamundubina, Makebizuru, Awe. Panti also I'm a politics. I'm a political president. Bonse like Bahari Kalava, Bamembe, Banan. Bonse aba firo kwima. Ukweba chama election yali unfairly. Pantu tabale salida. Apanga kukoka bonse bale fwayo buntu ngokwibira. No machipalire kwati I party yo batakatira bonse bayikala tondoro. Where is one Zambia? Where is one unity? Epo tufiro kuishwati na mtuanda Zambia is a Christian nation. These people are politicians, but they don't mean well. If they mean well, they should come together. Ukwebati omunesu wali chitalidi. Na before benete tule kwata amaziro. Ngani bakala bakale batampiro kuchitana ni campaign immediately. Bakayinge baberepo. Konsoko bale abene bo bale sunisha nga lero badala shani bene bale muna kwati bakenda fyo kupita fetru abantu balamona bushoyi kuti atusunga oloyutete atusunge bali mweno kwe bati uyu muntu kuti atusunga ba muntu bile bali mu government muri government ne government. But what I have found for Zambians that why she ba conservative na labor to she ba fya dikoko waserero omwero ko twabutukira bonse ushama polisi atwakwata mu Zambia ya msango shani olokutemwana twatemwana shani trenda pamtundu echo nomba mwamone sinombe mitundu shaba sindi tundu inashfayo kwenda pamtundu pantu inena aba mauti shani uko bamayo baila badata bakuchipata bamayo na bena bali kwete bali bakambonsenga balala ukunoku. So me I'm multicultural. I can't say that in endi wakwisa ona fyaliwe mukabu. So ichirenge fyonse fyandi. No, echo twala pita kwisa tufiro kubombera pamo as one. Ababonsa aba 13 kashinga ni 12 bafiro kusupporta bena muntu bire na bene bantu nabeshatu nababebira na bena tete bale kwato tubiri kamo tubiri bali kweta ama groups ahead. That is a taboo. Why can't they come together? Let them come together, not at a panto bali if bali. That is childish. Let's be mature. That don't tell about mama.
Thank you very much, my dear sister. Let's pick some more calls. Let's pick some more calls before we begin to wind down and close. Thank you very much. Just hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make a contribution.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
I'm James Wambura. I concur with my sister who has just spoken. You know, these other opposition parties, one thing she has said that has really reminded me of our Uncle Ben Mwila, where he got 0 in a certain area. The same applies to this guy, these presidents of our opposition leaders. Is it true that in a constituency, the president can get 0? Where are the constituency officials? Let's take Atiwakalavas. He got 0 somewhere. You mean there was no party structure in that constituency for him to get 0? So it should raise very serious concerns for these our opposition party leaders. But for some, it's just a matter of jealousy. They know they will, whatever they will try, they will never get support as what Brian Munduvire has done, based on their personal egos. I can mention one name here. I don't know if I'm allowed to mention names, but
they are presidential candidates who are bitter by nature and by birth. They cannot support.
Don't say the name, please. Don't say the name, please. Don't say the name.
Yes, I want to mention
Thank you.
Ambassador.
Thank you, please.
So they are previous leaders. Even when we lost our president Edgar Lungu, they started coming as if they are sympathizing with us. All they wanted is to hijack the PF, for them to be, to preside over the remains of the party, which was not possible. So they went solo. They went, some of them, they even appeared on this program. I recall very well. They appeared to be angels, and yet they were just, optimists. They wanted an opportunity in order to jump on the remains of the PF, which was not possible again. So for them, I think it's just a matter of bitterness and hatred. There are people that, when you look at certain things, the things that you are saying that the NRPU was infiltrated, I concur with some of the people that said that sentiment. There were a lot of Moors that came into NRPUP for whatever reasons, but again, they couldn't. But one thing, Ambassador, I think there is one thing I want to talk about here. The votes that are being counted, I think we shouldn't attach Southern Province to this, and the Northwestern and Western. People voted. You remember? You saw that audio or that video you played. The NRPUP. If that information is correct, Brian Mundubile did very well in the announcements that lady was calling in Southern Province. But what is worrying are the results that are being announced that they don't want to verify from ECC. Sometimes we may hate people in Southern Province, Northwestern, and Western. They've got nothing to do with the final result. They've got nothing. It could be that they could have been used, for someone to make something at the end of the day, to prove a point, to say these are our strongholds and this is what we have done. But that is not a true reflection of this election. Ambassador, lastly, I wanted to...
My brother, quickly wind up, so I've got 2-3 calls waiting.
Okay, so one of you made proposals of about 3 or 4 things for the way forward, but which one do you think is the most effective? Because why I've asked you this question is for the fact that if we are exploring the issue of petitioning the results, you know what is happening. The judiciary is rotten. We could be wasting our time. But I think what I think is to pursue the human rights abuses through the International Court of Justice. I think that is the best way. Petitioning, it won't take us anywhere because we know the system. Even there, they will just throw out those things and would have wasted money. People would have wasted money.
No, it's very important to produce evidence to the world so that you even expose how rotten the judiciary is. Thank you, my brother. So, hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Hello, good evening, Mapumba.
Good evening.
I will remain anonymous.
Anonymous, make your contribution.
Thank you so much. So, unfortunately, today I'm not talking about the elections. Rather, I've just come to give morale and encourage Zambians. So there is a reason why we are called a Christian nation. And there is a reason why President Chiluba dedicated us to God. So we should never forget, and the fact that we are children of God or we are covenanted to God does not mean we will not go through trials. The Bible tells us that count it all joy when you go through trials. And in all this, it will work to our goodness. How it will be done, we cannot know, but God knows better. He will never leave us nor forsake us. The Bible says, even when we go through the fire, He will be with us. I want to assure all the Zambians that God is with us. We know that the election has been stolen. And we know that the president right now, who has been declared, probably he's the president of ECZ, and maybe the party officials and cadres, and I don't know, a few that voted, but the majority Zambians, we know that right now, God knows that we don't have a leader that we chose. That's why they are changing all these MPs. And I want to assure you, in as much as we seek justice here on earth, which is good, like the ambassador is advising, there is also real justice that comes from God. And I want you to know, no matter how much a person thinks that they are powerful, God is more powerful. We need to trust in God. We are a covenant country, and this is not the time to look like which prophet is telling us what, which prophet is. We are the prophets of our own country. We need to pray for Zambia. We need to get back to God. We need to pray so that God will show us that thing that He would want us to see. In all this, I want you to know, yesterday when I was praying, I asked God, why would you do this? Can you speak to me? So when I opened the Bible, I saw a scripture, and that scripture, I opened where Shadrach, Abednego, and Meshach answered King Nebuchadnezzar, and they said, "Oh King, even if our God does not save us, we will not bow down to your God. But we are confident that our God will save us." This is the situation that Zambia is in now. So as Christians, we should also know that even if God does not come to our aid, we will never bow down. We will remain the children of the Most High God. But we are sure that surely God will save us. So don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. And just like my ambassador advising the nation, it doesn't matter how corrupt the court is, we have to go. That is the court of the land. It doesn't matter if the international will help us or not, we have to go, because it's also a provided avenue. Whatever we can use, we have to use it, because those are the possibilities that God has made available to us. Let's exhaust what we can do humanly possible and allow God to be God. So we shouldn't question much. God knew that it will happen like this. And that's why He released very fast the presidential elections to show you guys, to say, look, my people, this was your voting and this is the result. But look what is happening. He's very much aware. And I want you to find strength knowing that God knows better than we do. In as much as it is painful, He is with us in the fire. He is with us in the water. The only thing that we need is to exercise faith, control our emotions, and be very control of, be disciplined. That's what I would like to say, because God will be happy if we prove to Him to say we indeed believe in Him, even when we know that we will die of hunger, even when it appears as if we will just die from lack of medicine, even when it appears that we are being plundered, we are not loved, we are not liked, even when we complain and nobody listens in our country. People of God, Zambians, go back to that covenant. God does not break covenant. It doesn't matter what happens today. Your God will surely save you. So this is the message that I came with, and I want you to be comforted, even as you pray, even as we do whatever we need to do. God will protect our leaders. God will protect our President Mundubile. It doesn't matter what issues they are cooking up for our people. I want you to know, God was with Joseph in prison. He will be with them. Those that are in prison, Menachester, out of Rufiengo, God is still there. The best we can do, pray for those people, remember them. The mighty hand of God will shine, and one day we will look back and laugh at all this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So we add prayer to my list, the list of 4. We add prayer. Hello, caller. You are here, caller. You want to finish something?
Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
I want to make a contribution. I'll remain anonymous. I'm calling you from Kasamo.
Yes.
Ambassador, I'll start by, there's a caller who called who started talking about the issue of Reasons Party and the NLA, where he says that no, there are some issues like these two parties parties couldn't agree on. I think where we are not supposed to start pointing fingers at each other. The people voted. The voice of the people was very loud. The people voted, and the people knew what they expected from the votes that they casted. Then on the way forward, Ramamba, one thing we should understand is this president of ours, Bakainde has been preparing. He prepared himself. He knew what was coming, and he prepared himself. That's why almost all the institutions of governance has been compromised, because you need to say, at a certain point, I'm going to do this, and when I do this, some of the institution of governance has to support him. So even if we say, let's go to court with the evidence that whatever evidence that has been gathered, I don't think it will hold water, because Bakainde amakoti yavo shonzo varipangira charimo vari kwatamaka. But chinto choningana chakweva ati lesala pelenshita umuntu uri wonse ureste chinto lesari mupelenshita, and at his own time lesala started. So ngabala tfosinga Bakainde kuturulinga sendu vapere chance vaturulinga not very focused. But I can assure you Mwamba mukevukishana kuntansi mukesanze vati uyu muntu arilandire. Because at one time, there was a time I called you when I told you to say, Mwamba, uyu muntu uyu, let's start prayer. Now he should go to prayer. If you also arrest that point, I'm a judge, he was preparing for where we are today. I mentioned, I called you, and I told you to say, he's preparing. So, Bakainde was the very hope stuff. Bakainde Venagaide, the Rapangwan, the Rapangwana Lesa, the Navadi Pangavi. That's why Nama is Yabobadi Shiva. You say, okay, Tarida Pacharo for a very long time. So, let's not get worried. It's fine. We are not going to fight. Fighting is not going to assist us. Even if we say, the reason why you deployed my soldiers, me, you know, me, I worked in the military. And as a military, so order as it is, order is coming from. When I say, those are the two who are giving out orders to say, go and do this. There's no way. The military has never been in an election. Military in my elections. Most of the time in my elections, the military is on standby in case of any challenge. But the people who handle the elections are the police. In that time, year 2016, there was a problem in Southern Province in my elections. We went to Southern Province. I was part of the group which went to Southern Province. We went there to go and quench situation in there because the people of Southern Province, against the people from other regions. So, not in an election where we can even have the special forces. Special forces in an election, sure, to do what? So what they did, these people was, they were prepared. They have unleashed the military on the Zambian people. So that when they announce the results, no one is going to fight back.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Let me take just two calls before we close.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling. Oh, I've lost the caller. Let me see if we can get him back. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Saima, I have toiled with you. Never turned.
Mkwai.
You know who's calling. I've toiled with you. We have struggled. I don't know what has happened.
Are you failing to go through? You never failed to go through.
No, I'm not failing to go through, but I'm just talking about the situation in Zambia, the way we have toiled.
Oh yeah,
We have toiled, my brother.
Mm.
We have toiled. We have tried. I don't even know if this is going to be my last phone call, but you know, our people, I don't know whether ni rigging na fiance they've shown even some places where we were losing. You know, I know in Mwensa we won at my village, but by very close margins. You know, Ababe Mbanama Eastern.
What happened to Mwense? Ni wanu wa winine parliamentary.
What I mean, you know, I'm so angry, my brother. If a relative calls me, I swear to God, I'm that angry with the people of Luapula. You know, it has this election, I have tried to help everyone. There's no one, but if something happens, my brother, I'm going to say,
Okay, Machando, just a minute. I need to take this call quickly.
I'm angry.
Yeah, I know.
I'm angry.
Okay. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Good evening. Hello. Yes.
Can you get me?
Yes, we can. Uh-oh, he's dropped out.
Hello?
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Okay, Mpazi Silongo calling from Limpopo, South Africa.
Yes, my brother, make your contribution.
Yeah, my contribution, I'm worried. We've enjoyed the peace in the past. Now the peace has been compromised. Then the other concern is I saw the military, there's a PF post that the US military, they've gone to Maina Soko to check. Can that be an indirect way of the military, US military penetrating into Zambia to quench the situation or what? Then the other concern is about the safety of our President Brian Mundubire and his other colleagues. Yeah, because looking at where we are coming from, there are chances that these guys, they will never have, they will never be safe and they will never be treated fair. Yet God anointed Mundubire, then nature has anointed himself, of which God won't be part of his rule. And I foresee that he might not even finish the 5-year term mandate. Maybe God will intervene. That's my contribution.
Thank you very much. I think we need to begin to close now so that we rest. We'll have a breakfast show. Colleagues, you have to forgive us that we need to take some rest.
We have targets that we are going to eradicate. And anybody, Honorable Minister, who is going to make a mistake of pointing a gun at the special forces, will get rid of him. We have targets that we are going to eradicate. And anybody, Honorable Minister, who is going to make a mistake of pointing a gun at the special forces, will get rid of him. We
low voter turnout in southern province particularly, and it's therefore expected that even the numbers will reflect that particular reality. So I'm very, very happy that I cast my vote today, and it's just the new beginning, the beginning of a new Zambia, the beginning of a free Zambia, and the beginning of a united Zambia. Well, I expect that to win this election. It's a message, the feedback that we got and received across 9 provinces, the provinces that we visited. We received overwhelming support, and it was very clear that the people of Zambia are ready for change. It was not surprising that we got that feedback. The reasons for which they want that change are very clear. For instance, the poverty levels are extremely high. In some cases, poverty levels are over 70%. Youth unemployment is over 20%. When you look at people's freedoms, Zambians now can't express themselves. They have to look over their shoulder. They have to look for a lawyer before they can make a comment. So Zambians are looking for the restoration of their freedom. Freedom of expression, freedom of association, freedom of worship, as it were. You know that from the statistics, youths and women form the majority of the voters across the country. And these are the 2 categories of citizens that are most affected by the poverty levels that we experience today. So the youths want their jobs. The youths want their gold mines. The youths want to be recognized in their creative arts, as it were. And of course, our women are looking at social protection. They are looking at healthcare. They are looking at education, among others. When you look at the Copper Belt where we've been, Northwestern Province where we've been, which are predominantly mining provinces, the workers there are complaining every day. They are complaining about high taxes and low wages. They are looking forward to a new day. They are looking forward to a government that will look at introducing certain policies that will ameliorate their working conditions and indeed salaries, as it were. They are looking at a new government that will care about their housing infrastructure, social